found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Fired up, focused, and prepared. TGMD's in the house today. C was supposed to be with us. Hopefully he gets back at some point, but he's watching curling today. He is a curling freak. And so there you have it with the C. Matt, are you a big curling guy? Because he is a curling aficionado, and that's underway in the Olympics. C, are you a big curling guy?
No, I am not, Tom. Not at all.
Are you?
Good to know Ken Palm has somebody else he can watch it with.
That's right. Matt, where are you on the Joey Agalar news that popped and dropped rather quickly right on top of us, as we kind of thought it would, but not that quickly. Jeez.
I think it gives you the best chance to win in 2026, which is kind of the goal here in this kind of era of teams and not programs. So could you have a better quarterback? Yeah, but you've got a guy at, I think, considering what he gave you last year, is probably below market value, which is probably a good thing. And you're kind of overpaying your backups, but it gives you the best chance to win next year, I think. So, yeah, you might lose some of the upside for 27, but I don't really think that matters at this point in this year-to-year era.
I guess my thing is, and this is one thing we'll talk about, because Larry Vaught's going to join us. There's a 100% chance of that coming up in our B block. But here in the A block, one thing I want you to consider is, because what we do, just to take you inside our production meetings before the show, 9:30 generally, we'll convene in the morning. That's after Matt gets in a run with his puppy. After Brian makes his scrambled eggs, his wheat toast dry, and drinks himself a protein shake. Me, it's after I get up. I get up at 9:15. But what we do is we structure the show, A block, B block, C block, D block, E block, F block, G block, and then we get into overtime block. But in the A block here, just to promote, preview what we're going to do, I can't help but wonder if this thing is going to augment the pressure on the coach this year if, in fact, Agalar becomes a quarterback. Because there's an expectation that Agalar is going to take another step. And, taking another step at quarterback means you're going to be better, and you've added these defensive players, and your team should be better, and therefore you should win 9 or 10 games. And what happens if you win 8, and then you don't have a quarterback that you've played and is ready for the 2027 season? And now all of a sudden you're kind of in the soup, and it was sort of off or not. And that's kind of my fear. But, it ain't my dime and my dance floor. And I like how Matt says that he agrees there's two sides of the argument, two sides of the coin. Matt says there's a place for somebody like me to say what I'm saying and not want to do the Sammy. Bry, Sammy is like he's like a speech Gestapo, isn't he, Bry? He was on here ripping Matt yesterday in Matt's absence. Bry took up for you, Matt.
Just shameful.
Bry came with the brass knucks.
I did hear that.
Yeah, Bry came with the brass knucks on him.
Sammy was off his rocker yesterday.
Sammy!
No offense. Sammy.
No offense, Sammy.
Sammy from Memphis. He's not Sammy from the Ridge.
He came hard. He came with
he clarified that.
He goes, "I'm from Memphis, brother," and he had his brass knucks in his hand or something, I'm from Memphis, brother. So our third hour can get a lot of things wild and woolly. Generally doesn't get very hairy with me in here, but I'm going on like 2.5 day growth. Maybe I can show people this later. I'll show you my alopecia spots, but maybe we'll do that later on. In the meantime, we've got a lot to talk about. How about the Kentucky Wildcats, Matt, playing good ball all of a sudden? Oweh starting to round into form. They've got a couple other guys that are quietly having a nice season. It's going to be an interesting game Saturday night up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. And Tennessee's got to play well to win.
Yeah.
Kentucky took care of business last night against an Oklahoma team that I'm not really sure what they're trying to do besides just fill out a roster and fill out a team this year.
That's awful.
But yeah, Kentucky's. I think they've won like 6 of 7. I think.
Yes.
And they've kind of got some defined roles now. So, unfortunately, they're kind of growing into the season too. But Tennessee is as well, and Tennessee's kind of playing as well as they've played all year too. So it should be a fun game. Tennessee needs to just go up there and win. It doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter how ugly it is. Go up there and win. It's ridiculous losing to just these kind of average at best Kentucky teams, which, it's kind of, Pope, the way Pope can space the floor offensively can create some mismatches, and Tennessee gives up some threes there. But, Tennessee's the better team and it needs to go handle business because you had it handled here until you got in the foul trouble and just kind of pissed that game away, which still really bothers me.
I was talking to the great Mark Griffin a second ago, and we were just comparing how bizarre the series is. Like, he was like, when I was in school, you never went up there. And then for the longest time, we never went up there. And now we went up there regularly, and they win down here. They've got like a winning streak in our building. It's a bizarre, bizarre series, and it's going to go off probably as a pick'em on Saturday. It's going to open as Tennessee, maybe a slight favorite, probably be a pick'em by the time the ball tips. And that is it's just so odd, this series. Matt, I think we're going to win Saturday, which makes no sense when you think about what they did to us on our home floor a month ago.
Well, Tennessee just had that game won and had a comfortable win if your guards don't get in foul trouble and you don't just start giving up open threes in the second half. But that's what Kentucky kind of has done all year. They've done it earlier that week, they had that comeback where they hit the buzzer beater against LSU that really just turned their season around. So I think Tennessee's the better team, and if Amen gives you 25 plus, I think you're going to be really difficult to beat. But you're going to need Gillespie to play well and stay on the court, and then you're going to need 2 or 3 of your role players to step up and contribute.
This is a night where Gillespie's going to have to play a smart game. Not only play well, but play smart. You got to play smart up there because really you're playing 5-on-8 when you get in their building. They're going to get the calls. You're not. You've got to be able to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. You can't run at everybody out there trying to shoot a 3-ball, or you'll be in foul trouble really quickly. And you can't let them foul grift on you. And Oweh's starting to play better ball, and their backcourt's getting better. And it's going to be a very high-level Southeastern Conference basketball game, I think, because I think we're playing at a high level right now. And somehow this Pope guy is stabilized the ship. Okay, Laura tells me that we've got a Dave on line 1 here. Dave, was great seeing you the other night. I'm sorry it was under those circumstances. I hope all was well with your service and your family's beautiful. And our condolences to you, man. Welcome in. Go ahead and rip the basketball team now.
Well, thank you, Tommy. I appreciate y'all showing up. That meant a lot.
You're awesome, buddy.
The last 6 games were 2-4 against them.
Yep.
And 5 of those 6 games, they've shot well above 40% from three-point land against us. The 2 wins we have against them, last year NCAA tournament, neither team shot well from 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they only took 15 3-pointers, Kentucky. And then 2 years ago, we won up there. We hit 12 threes that game, and they hit 12 threes that game. So we both shot over 40% from 3. So it comes down to this: if they make 10 threes, we're done.
Matt, agree or disagree? If that 3-ball starts going in for them,
agree. Which we can't give up so many open looks, and which I think I saw Kentucky hit 9 threes in the first half last night, so they shot really well, which I think's a good thing because I'm not sure they can do that again. But they shot 50% from 3 in both regular season games last year versus Tennessee. We gave up way too many open looks on those kickouts, and Dave's right. If Kentucky's making threes, they're probably going to win.
Dave, what's your take on Matt's level of knowledge? What do you think of him? Because Sammy yesterday called in here and ripped him, and he rips you too. So, Dave, what do you think of Matt's level of knowledge?
Matt is excellent, and poor Sammy, he's got some really bad takes. But we've all been there. I've had a few.
Sammy, you're like the king of takes. Pat's in Philly or is it Gino's as the king of steaks, and Sammy's the king of takes.
But getting back to the game, that's where I see it. I mean, to be honest, they don't have a true point guard, but Owe, Chandler,
right. Yep.
and that Aberdeen,
yes,
they're better. They're better shooters than our guys.
When they get it going, they are. Like last night, they had the ball on a string last night, and when the ball goes in early, like it did for them, Oklahoma's going to be down 20 points rather quickly, and that's exactly what happened. And Matt's right. That Oklahoma team, I don't know what they're trying to do, Matt, with their roster construction. I don't know what they're trying to do with their approach. They don't defend at all. They don't guard at all. I mean, that's an embarrassing level of basketball.
Yeah, that's how Porter Moser got that job, was having that elite defense that Loyola. They have Nigel Pack is on their team, and he was the guy like 3 years ago that Miami went out and bought, and somehow that guy's still playing college basketball, and he's just kind of a guy at Oklahoma. That was a blast from the past when I heard that name last night.
Nigel Pack.
Well, he's actually their leading scorer, but he had a bad night last night.
I haven't heard that name in forever.
And but he's just a hired mercenary. And he can get hot from 3 land.
I remember
he's kind of like he reminds me a lot of that guy that was at Texas A&M the past 5 years. What was that guy, the little guard they had that would get hot and he'd shoot from
Wade Taylor?
Wade Taylor.
Yes, they're very similar size. They can get hot out there and they can hit 30-footer. I mean, it's they're really similar players.
Hey, shout out Bucky Ball, by the way. You guys want to crack on Bucky Ball? Shout out Bucky Ball. Hell of a game last night with Alabama. No defense at all. But that Bucky Ball, when they get the ball in the open court, Dave, they attack you down. They get downhill on you rather quickly. They do what we call, me and Jimmy Dykes, NASCAR. They do what you call NASCAR drives. NASCAR.
Don't they remind you of Bruce's first year?
No question. They're wild. Yes. Fun to watch.
Full court pressing, just throwing up threes.
Yep.
And, he went in the portal and got some guys that, I think he brought some guys from Sanford with him too.
Yes, he did. Sanford's son.
And, I thought they were going to win that game for a while. I really did. And they nearly beat us. I mean, it's pretty impressive what he's done that first year. Now, I don't know if it's sustainable, though.
No, but that was a hell of a game last night in Alabama's gym. They pushed them to the rim, my brother.
My gosh, Tony, Alabama gave up almost 100 points last night.
That's what I'm saying. It was NASCAR, but Dave, thank you. It's great seeing you the other day. I love you. On the other side, there's 100% chance. Oh, Larry Vaught, there's 100% chance. We break it down scientifically. There's probably what's the chance, Matt, he picks the Vols in a game? What's your chance there?
Probably 80%.
Yep.
He'll give Kentucky a slight chance.
Does he Adam Gold us? Does he come in here and, shall we say, do the howdy and the shake and the quake and the bake and the trying to lull us to sleep? Is that part of his strategy? I'm starting to think that's part of his strategy. I'm starting to think that's part of the man's game. 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. And in the mix and in the hunt. It's pretty outstanding. 865-200-5402 is the numero do. What do you think, Bri? You think this guy jakes us out and fools around with us and plays games with us? Is that what we have here in Larry Vaught? When he brings the Vaught's views? Let's do a brief timeout. We come back. We'll come back on the other side and commence on your Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chillins of all ages. Presented by our friends. Say it, know it, and write it down. WeShipFloors.com after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Chilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. I love my man Larry Vaught. I mean, we break it down scientifically and we talk. We have so much fun with each other. And he's such a good dude, and he's got such a great spirit. And, it's a shame he's been in Kentucky Nation all this time. We could use a guy like him in Vol Nation. I love him. He's constantly picking the Vols to win these games. I don't know if he will this time around. I think there's a pretty decent, shall we say, shot at it. Some would say chance. Larry, we were talking off the air. What a difference a month can make for both of these teams. That the last time these two teams played, I'd call it a pretty mid-level game between two kind of, at that point, sort of lost souls is what we both looked like out there. Tennessee started that game so well and then just looked awful trying to close it out at the end. And you told us, you said even if Kentucky wins this game, they're just going to prolong their agony. And here both teams went on and have gone on and are streaking right now. Who would have thought that, man?
Certainly not me. Not me at all. I was shocked that Kentucky was able to come back and win the game at Tennessee the way that it did, or that Tennessee lost the game. I'm still not exactly sure which is a better way to put how that game turned out. But Kentucky got the win, and they got shellacked at Vanderbilt, and you think, well, this is just over. Then they go to Arkansas and win, and then they had an impressive win against Oklahoma. The next thing you know, they're sitting here 7-3 in the conference. Their teamwork is a lot better. Their best players are playing much better. They seem to have defined roles. They're sharing the ball much better. Against Oklahoma, they had 5 guys with 3 or more assists. In some games this year, they didn't have 7 assists total, and they had 5 guys with 3 or more against Oklahoma. So, and they are, as you said, it's amazing how when you shoot the ball better, everything looks a lot better. But they're shooting the ball better, I think, because their offense has got a little bit more flow to it, and people understand their roles. I mean, Denzel Aberdeen is not a pass-first point guard. He's a guy that's either going to try to get a shot or then he's just going to make the simple play. He's not going to make anything out of this world for you, but he has settled into what he can do and I think learned what he can't do, and that has made Kentucky much better than guys like Jelovic. He's just kind of become a bruiser and a banger, but yet he can step into the corner and hit a couple 3-pointers for you every game. That's changed what they have. Otega Oweh, I think, has now become as consistent or more consistent than any player in the Southeastern Conference.
Crazy.
He's just getting 20, 20, 20 every game, and his defense has been out of this world for Kentucky. He's playing like a guy you thought could be SEC Player of the Year. So whatever Mark Pope has done, it's worked. They're putting boxing gloves on to start practice a lot of days and pounding those dummies, and I just say just pound them some more because it seems to be working.
You know, here's the other thing too, right? Like it was really sad last night calling that game a Southeastern Conference basketball game, because that had to be one of the worst Southeastern Conference teams you've seen come into Lexington in a while. Just that Oklahoma bunch, we were really marveling at how little has been done there by a coach that was so successful in his last stop. And I know they made the tourney last year, so they had to bring him back this year. But, God, Larry, that was awful last night. You talk about zero defense, zero resistance from an opponent. Jeez, man.
Yeah, they have no inside game.
None.
It's just hard. It's just hard to imagine how a team in the Southeastern Conference could be built or recruited to have no inside game at all. In the first half, they just kind of dared Kentucky to shoot the 3-pointers and gave them basically wide open looks at 3-pointers. In the second half, they tried to come out a little bit, and then Kentucky just went inside more or less at will and was able to score. They kind of let down a little bit toward the end, let Oklahoma get back within 8 or 9 or something, went right back out and just put the game right away. But, yeah, Oklahoma is just not a very good team. That's a team you want to play on the road, not at home, I think.
Matt Dixon, jump in here. The great Larry Vaught joins us, and we break it down scientifically with him. He of Vaught's Views. He's been covering Kentucky for long enough to know better, and he also, earlier in the year, kind of thought this season was sort of a road to nowhere, and it felt like it was. Kentucky came back from a double-digit deficit. Really weird season the Cats have had. Double-digit deficit to LSU. As a prelude to their game here, they did the exact same thing with Tennessee. It's rocketed their season, but then they gave up a double-digit lead the game the other day. But then they came back and won in a game that I thought we were going to have like a couple of 2-minute roughing penalties in that, a couple of roughing minors. Mix a little NHL with our college basketball, Larry. But Matt Dixon, jump in here with the great Larry Vaught.
Yeah, Larry, it seems like Kentucky been slow starters all year, but more than that, it seems they just don't get up for a lot of games, but they get up for the big games, like that game at Arkansas and some others last year. Why is it that Mark Pope's teams just are so inconsistent coming out of the gate to start games?
That's been the biggest question in the Bluegrass for 2 years. They've been good enough to come back and win a lot of those games, but man, they just dig themselves such big holes, and that's what's been so impressive about the last 2 games to win at Arkansas. They didn't start slow; they came out on fire and built the big lead. And then last night against Oklahoma, so here's the mentality in Kentucky now. 8 minutes into the game, it was tied, and you feel like Kentucky's ahead because they're not behind by 10 or 12. So by Kentucky standards, they've had 2 games in a row where they have started really well. And I think after the first 8 minutes of the game, Kentucky didn't trail last night, and that's not been the kind of game, no matter who Kentucky has played, that they have had. They've tried to change pregame routine. They've tried to change practice routine. They've put boxing gloves on and practice now. They're beating on dummies to try to get a little bit more physical, a little tougher to start the game. You kind of watch Saturday, one of the things that they are doing, the Jelinek on the first series, no matter whether Kentucky's got the ball, whether the opponent has the ball, he's just going around just knocking people, just bumping into people and knocking, just to kind of show that Kentucky needs to be physical. They're going to play physical. So just kind of watch that early in the game with him just kind of knocking, bumping people around. But that seems to have kind of helped Kentucky get going. And then Pope has kind of turned Brandon Garrison loose. I don't want to say he's an outlaw or a thug, but he doesn't play dirty. He just talks dirty. He's always talking and doing things like that. And Pope has kind of embraced it and said that's kind of become the emotional leader of the team, which is never what I kind of envisioned that Mark Pope type team would have, a leader or an emotional leader like that. But again, it seems to have kind of helped a little bit. Now, it results in a near brawl every game or gets close to it. But for right now, it's working.
You know, and I like that because, look, they had a flatlining team earlier in the year. That lost to Missouri in their building. They kind of flatlined. Oweh didn't touch the ball in the last 90 seconds, which was crazy. I don't think they had a field goal in the last 4 minutes or something like that. Just, you know, right. It's ridiculous. But now they've got a little edge to them. It seems like the Tennessee game helped them grow into the season. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it seems like that was a huge pivot point for them. You were telling me off the air you feel like this is another potential pivot point for Kentucky's season. If you could unpack that from your perspective.
Yeah, I really do. I think when they won at Tennessee, I think they thought maybe they'd kind of arrived there, and they went into Vanderbilt thinking, well, we're pretty damn good right now. We've got this figured out. And Fandy showed them they didn't quite have it figured out if they didn't play like they did at the last part of the game at Tennessee and play hard and intense. And to their credit, I thought that was going to maybe just derail the season again, but they came back and won that game at Arkansas by playing so well and so intense right from the start. And they did a pretty good job of that again last night. So I think they have kind of learned that, we can't just talk it. We've got to go out and do it. And so now here's a chance to prove for the third game in a row that you can go out at the beginning of the game, play with some intensity, make some shots, and be able to stay in a game early with a really good team, and then be able to pull away and hopefully win the game. If they suddenly are behind by 13 points with 8 minutes to go in the first half, then you wonder, is this kind of this false confidence they got? Is it just going to go away? Everything that they thought they built, is it not built that way? And also, this is a game I think they can show, okay, if what we've got going, here it is. Bring on Florida twice. Bring on Vandy again. Bring on Auburn. But if Tennessee comes up here, smacks them in the mouth and says, we're going to pay you back. We should have never lost that first game, and puts it on Kentucky, then that confidence, I think, may run away in a hurry.
And isn't that an interesting thing? Because Tennessee had a difficult schedule after the Kentucky game and kind of took their lumps, and we were sort of going, oh, boy, this is going to be rough here. Kentucky's in a similar boat now. They've got what should be for them, from their perspective, a winnable game in their building. Really, you shouldn't lose in your building in this league if you're an NCAA tournament team. You should be nearly impossible to beat in your building because it's hard to win on the road for anybody in this league. But your message is Kentucky's got a very difficult stretch coming up, whereas for Tennessee, the schedule really loosens up. Now that we're in the month of November, the schedule's loose here for a few weeks, or lighter, I should say. You can't count anything, but by the same token, Kentucky really, from your perspective, this is like a must-win if they want to get in the upper stratosphere, yes?
Yeah, I think so. This is the game where that you can prove that everything we've been doing and talking about for the last week or so, and that including that game at Tennessee, this is who we are. That game at Vanderbilt was just a fluke. Throw that one away. This is who we are. We know Tennessee's coming loaded for bear. They want to prove that win that Kentucky got was a fluke down there and should have never happened. You said the Vols are on a pretty good roll right now. This is a chance for Kentucky to show that they can man up, be tough, play inside, make shots, and win a game that they, I think, really need to win. Because they do that, then suddenly their NCAA tournament resume is looking pretty good again.
Totally agree. Hey, Matt, here's a great question that the great Hewitt Pruitt brings up, or a great point. I think one of the things the Cats are going to try and do with Tennessee is they're going to try and get Gillespie in foul trouble, however they can do it. And that's a concern of mine up there, that he's a little wild, Matt, in that game. Do you think that's a founded concern from me?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happened in the first game, and Boswell as well, especially guarding Oweh, because Oweh especially can attack the rim and kind of a slasher. Aberdeen's more of a shooter, but can still penetrate at times. So yeah, if they can get Tennessee's guards in foul trouble, that's where Tennessee just doesn't have veteran depth. They have a couple of freshmen that show promise, but it's not a spot you really want to throw them out there and ask them to give you 15 or so minutes with your veterans in foul trouble, because that's the one reason Kentucky came back in the first game. Is you got those guards in foul trouble, and Barnes set them for that first half and let Kentucky get back in the game. So yeah, that is a concern. You can't pick up those stupid fouls, fouling the 3-point shooters, or just the nonsense stuff. You can't afford to do that with a guy like Gillespie.
And the thing about this Pope guy, Larry, in a year and a half that I've come to appreciate from him, is he's proven to be not a one-size-fits-all coach. He's not afraid to try different approaches. Now, some people would say that's proof he doesn't know what he's doing and they're flailing. I kind of like a coach who says, "Hey, it doesn't have to be my way or the highway. I'll try several ways to unlock a team." It took them a decent amount of time last year to kind of get in the groove, and they did at the end of the year. And it feels like he's sort of found it with this team as well.
Yeah, I think he tried to talk himself into believing this is going to be a really good 3-point shooting team, because he just hammered that away over the summer. It's almost like if he kept saying it, it was going to come true. And then I think he finally slowly had to realize that's probably not going to be the case. And then his point guard gets hurt, and then he's maybe out, then he's coming back, then he's out, and so that didn't help the situation. And then you keep thinking Jaden Quainton says he's going to be back the 1st of October. Doctors say he's going to be back in November. Then it's December, and he plays a few games. Then boom! I mean, he's gone. I think everybody knew when that knee acted back up that he was done for the season. And then you get Cam Williams kind of going, and he breaks his foot running back down the court. One of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And so he's had to readjust how they play and they're a much better defensive team than they were when the season started and what they were last year. They're not a great defensive team, but they're at least to the point they don't give up 100 points on a regular basis, or 96 or something like what they were doing way too many times. And they have learned, I think, as a team, who the stars are and to let them be stars. And that means, like you say, don't go the last 4 minutes against Missouri when you need to score and forget that Otega Oweh is your guy. And they've let Oweh kind of be the guy and let him dictate what happens. And he's done a good job. He's been very efficient with his scoring. I mean, he's not getting 24 points on 7 for 23 shooting or something like that. His shot selection's been good, and he's still got a pretty good high number of assists. And on the defensive end, he's been really, really good. I'm anxious to see who Kentucky is going to put him on to open the game, because the last couple of games he's shut down who as well as what you can, who he's gone up against, and that's made a big difference for Kentucky.
Conversely, Rick Barnes at the Kentucky press conference afterwards said, that's the last time we're ever not going to use our 5-star freshman and we're going to play through him, and he's going to get more touches down the stretch. And that's exactly what the Vols have done since they last saw Kentucky. They have taken Ament, and they will give you an amen and an hallelujah. He scored 20 points in 7 consecutive games, 20 points plus. He had 28 the other night after only having 2 at the half. He put on a show in the second half. And Larry, the guy is like, I cannot wait to see him perform in this spot on the road against a team that's going to do some different things to him, to play some head games with him. Another guy from the Cats I like is this Moreno kid, this freshman. He's a nice ball player, man.
Yeah, and he's way above what anybody would have thought this year, because you thought Jaden Quaintance was going to be there, and you never dreamed Moreno would get as much time as what he has. But he's been really good. Now, the last couple of games, Brandon Garrison has played more, and that's cut into Moreno's time a little bit. But when he's in there, he's a solid defender. He's not going to take crazy shots. He's a pretty good passer. He runs the floor really well, which makes the other team have to run the floor with him, and kind of changes the things. So he could be the kind of guy in a game like Saturday, could be kind of that guy you're not thinking maybe he's going to do a whole lot, and he could. Or they may bring Garrison in. If Garrison's playing well, Moreno may not get the 10 or 11 minutes. So, but either way, when he does play, he's been very good for him, far better than I think anybody expected this year.
Both coaches have learned. Both teams are using their best players. Both teams feel like they're starting to gel. Feels like we've got a high-level basketball game compared to that last one, Larry. You know, you never know, but it feels like this one could be a really great basketball game.
Yeah, so I guess you're probably telling me you don't think Rick Barnes is going to let his team shoot 45 three-pointers this game.
Yeah, I do not.
Okay. Well, Kentucky fans can just kind of hope. He let it happen once before and let Kentucky get a win. I thought they had no chance to get, but if he plays the way that I think it's going to, I'm like you. I think this is going to be a really last game was a close game, but it was a weird game because it was only close at the end. I think this game could be kind of one of those knock 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em games from start to finish.
Guys, the undercard of this game is a game that's probably going to hold up our tip time, which really urinates me off. And that's this stupid Duke, North Carolina, made-for-TV, shove down your throat nonsense. Matt, in what world is Duke and North Carolina on par with some of the other great rivalries in sports, the Red Sox, Yankees, etc., Matt? When did this become a thing, Matt Dixon, and is it in your world? Do you consider this some great rivalry that you can't miss when those two teams play?
In college basketball terms, I think it is, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure it's quite on the level of some of the others. But, I mean, it's a great college basketball rivalry, and I appreciate it and try to watch it. So it's been the undercard to Tennessee-Kentucky, I think, 2 or 3 of the past couple of years in a row, which is kind of interesting.
Larry, I find it gross, don't you? The Duke North Carolina thing. I just don't. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think what Matt said is one of the reasons I don't like it. It seems like for the last 3, 4, 5 years, it's been before a Kentucky-Tennessee game, and the Duke North Carolina game always takes 2.5 hours. The TV folks always schedule it for 2 hours, knowing there's not a chance in France it's going to be over. So you either get the delayed tip time for Kentucky-Tennessee, or folks at home miss the half of the first half because it's not on. And so I just don't understand who thinks you can play a game in 2 hours. You would think at ESPN they've got to be smarter than that, or else they just don't care, I guess.
They don't care. You have an 8:30 tip time, probably going to tip off around 8:50 local time. And so you're dealing with a 9 o'clock Eastern time. They don't care if there's 6 inches of snow on the ground. They're going to play the game. They don't care. I mean, they literally do not care. But listen, I love you. I appreciate you. You're incredible. You always call the shot on here one way or the other. Now, here's a strange thing about this series is that Tennessee can't buy a win in Knoxville. And they're winning with a decent amount of frequency in Kentucky's building under Rick Barnes. It is the bizarro. We're like in bizarro world in this series. And just when you think you have it figured out, something strange happens. So, and the game's probably going to go off as a pick'em, I think, or something close to that. What do you think, Larry Vaught?
Well, my head tells me go ahead and pick Tennessee just because I like what you said. It seems like Kentucky has been winning in Knoxville and Tennessee's been winning in Lexington. But I'm going to let the heart and what you said, that you've got to be able to win your home games.
Yeah.
I'm going to let that sway me a little bit and go ahead and pick that I think Kentucky will find a way to win this one. I think that they have been – this is one they understand what's at stake. I think Pope does a good job, as you said, with strategy. And I think Kentucky is shooting the ball with confidence right now. So we'll see if they can still shoot it with confidence against Tennessee or not. But I really think I didn't think this the first game, but I do think now, I think Otega Oweh will be the best player on the floor. I don't think he'll be the best pro player on the floor, but I think for right now, even as well as Amen is playing, I think Otega is still the best player on both ends of the floor, and I think at the end, maybe that'll be enough to make a difference for Kentucky.
He's moving and grooving, no doubt about it, man. And that's what I want. I like seeing these heavy rivalry games play, high-level games, when the stars star. That's when this series has been at its best down through the years, and I want to see the stars star. And for both coaches, since they played this game, let's repeat this one more time, Larry, because it's true. For both coaches, they decided – we're not going out like that. We're not going down like that. We're going to give our stars the ball and let our stars star. And I think it makes the game better.
Me too. And I hope whoever's officiating the game understands that, and we don't get a couple of ticky-tack fouls on Gillespie and Oweh in the first 6 minutes of the game or something.
Get the hell out of the way. It's so frustrating. It's these foul fest games that sometimes we see in the SEC are so bad, Larry. They're so bad.
Makes you want to turn it off.
Oh, it's awful. You're my guy. Vaught's Views, tell them how they can find you. You're the man.
Well, you can follow me on my website at vaughtsviews.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at vaughtsviews.
Thank you, my man. Love you.
All right.
Matt, who hates more whom? Who hates more more? Question for me. Ready? Somebody asks here. Does Tony hate Duke more or Matt hate Kentucky more? We need a hate-off between those two guys. Where are you, Matt? My hatred level? Because I am so over already this North Carolina Duke build-up. When the Tennessee-Kentucky game is going to be a more compelling, higher-level basketball game on Saturday night than that fake, fraudulent, Tobacco Road, media-created nonsense. And that's what it is.
I think a lot of your hatred was towards Coach K more than it was actually Duke.
Good point.
And I mean, I don't think you hate Duke football or anything like that.
No, you
don't. I probably win that one. It's very unhealthy, my hatred for Kentucky and everything Kentucky.
Poor Matt sits there and watches like Kentucky gymnastics and cheers for like a girl when she's doing the floor routine to like land on her neck. I mean, it goes deep with Matt. Matt's a hater. But on the other side, proving that God has a sense of humor. He might be back. Get your turban ready. Get your turban out. The Turbinator might be returning to college football. We'll tell you about it. Dangling his participles. Doubling his negatives. Butchering his syntax. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Don the Snake Prudhomme dragster, Harry Gant. He might just be back after all. The SCO Bandit. We'll tell you about it as we continue after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Guffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Guffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Guffon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Guffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Guffon.com. That's Guffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Guffon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at pipewrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit pipewrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right. Drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show has taken off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn in the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home.
That's right.
See our website, shopbradleys.com.
That's right. That's right. We welcome you back, 865-200-5402. My name's Basilio. I'm with you today, breaking it down scientifically in a cold Rainier studio. It snowed here overnight. We would be doing school closings right about now, but we've been so battered through this, and so many people have been through so much, and I'm not going to joke about things like that. But we have a lot to talk about here, including the fact that it looks like Joey Agalar is getting ready to be cleared for takeoff. Marcos Garza was on with us yesterday. It was great. And basically the way this is done, and Matt, we were talking during the timeout, I think Tennessee looked at that Bediako thing, and they said, you know what? That's the way to do this. You get your money for nothing, your chicks for free, and you settle this thing in local courts. And they looked at it and they said, let's play a home game. Why in the world are we in Diego Pavia's lawsuit when we just go to a local court, get a T to the R to the O, which, by the way, I've got some old, not that you care about this, but that was an old syndicator of radio shows back in the day, TRO. I've got some great live shows in my collection, some TRO shows. Not to mention some of the great King Biscuit flour hours, those of you who know what I'm talking about back in the day. But I digress. Back to the task at hand, which is we're just going to play a home game. And when we play a home game, we get this thing before a judge. And they rewrote the law in the state of Tennessee. If you look in the blog today, Marcos explains it perfectly. And in plain language, we can all understand. But the takeaway is when they rewrote that law with NIL in mind. And they put the language in there that's just so, it's going to be so hard for the NCAA to overcome. And as Adam Sparks pointed out, the attorney arguing on behalf of the NCAA is a Tennessee graduate. And Marco said, it's a quality attorney. He said, I can't wait to see what his argument is. Because surely the NCAA in this case will have no leg to stand on. And then I look to the south of us. And I see yesterday that we saw a deal where Trinidad Chambliss got slapped down by the NCAA. Guess what Trinidad Chambliss is going to do? As we heard the other day, our friend from Ole Miss came in here and said, oh, yeah, he's going to go to a local court too. That's where that's going to go. And he's going to get a TRO. That's local. Here's the deal with the NCAA. They would not govern themselves. They would not figure this thing out on their own. The Supreme Court several years ago opened up the Pandora's box. And this is where we are. And this is the deal. And this is the moment we're in. And it's total anarchy. And Tennessee looked at that, I believe this, the Bediaco case, and they said, you need to go get Tom Mars as your attorney. And we're going to make you a $2 million offer. We'll put it on paper for you and your representation. You can show damages. And the hope is, in a weird way, you wouldn't think this, but in a weird way, as Marcos explained to us, the NCAA got a 1-week reprieve. Instead of having the hearing tomorrow, they're going to have it a week from tomorrow on the 13th. And lo and behold, that's a break for the Vols. Marco said what you want to happen from here is hopefully Judge Haggerty will take several weeks before issuing his ruling. Because while he's issuing his ruling, Joey Agalar is free to do team-oriented things. Now, Joey Agalar is going to need a lot of treatment on his arm. Joey Agalar will not be practicing with the team. He'll be out there and he'll be doing, team-oriented stuff, but he's not going to be throwing the ball in practice. And if he does, it's going to be very limited because he's going to need treatment into the summer, late spring into the summer. He's had a surgery, and a significant surgery. And as Watson Brown says, that's almost perfect for you because you know what he can do. So this gives you an opportunity to keep the wheels on the two kids, and it gives you an opportunity to sell to one or both of them that, hey, you can win this job. And I want Matt Dixon and Brian to respond to that, and I want you to respond to that. And then I got something else to throw into the mix that proves God has a sense of humor. But it's hour 2. Let me keep it live, legal, large, and in charge on the show day record.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Every day's a lovely day to spend a day with you, and we got another Aura together. Another Aura of Power. John Bryce reporting today. And then, Matt, I want to come to you on your thoughts on all this stuff that's going on. Now we're playing home games in local courts. And they figured it out. Tennessee figured it out. Alabama figured it out. I don't know what Ole Miss's law is. I don't know how the latitude given there with Chambliss, but we'll talk about it. John Bryce, Sources tell Football Scoop, that's who Bryce works for, that Maryland at Terps football program and head coach Mike Loxley are targeting at Vol football head coach Jeremy Puit for a defensive assistant position. And I do this, look. I say let Pruitt coach. Can I get an amen from you, Matt, and an amen from you, Brian? I'm glad to see Jeremy Pruitt come back to college football. How about it, guys?
Sure. There's something endearing about him. He's like the first head coach that didn't get his buyout, and which is just crazy. So, yeah, let him be a coach. Just about everything he did would be kind of legal now or legal in a way. So, yeah. And I will say that the moment Pruitt gets hired to be a real coach in college football again, whatever fake probation Danny White claims Tennessee's on is over, because Tennessee can't be on probation when the guy who got a show cause for all that is able to coach again. Now, we all know that probation doesn't really mean anything to anybody but Danny White, but that probation thing is over the moment Pruitt gets hired somewhere.
God, what a great tie that is, Matt. I'd never even considered tying those two things together. Brian, I say let the Turbinator eat and let him eat some asparagus. I'm for it, not against it, Brian. How about you?
Well, I'm just trying to think about the potential culture shock with living in the D.C. area, and I think he coached, maybe did something with the Giants for 1 year, but
he was up there. He was up there.
Hear Jeremy Pruitt talk. That'll be interesting.
He was up there with Freddie Kitchens. They were taking the Metro together, and they were up there taking the subway together. Can you imagine? I would have thought that Freddie Kitchens and Pruitt and those Bammers up there in New York, Matt, would have been a great, and I mean a great reality show.
Yeah, there's that picture of them at like a Yankees game.
Yes.
Just incredible. Yes. You think Pruitt knows what Maryland crab cakes are?
I like crab cakes.
Hopefully he's their interim head coach when Loxley gets fired like 8 games into the season.
I like crab cakes. So Jeremy Pruitt on his way. I just want to say that Matt's declaring our probation over if, in fact, Maryland can land the plane with the Turbinator. Because history books will talk about that COVID season. But one thing I will always remember about that COVID year was Jeremy Pruitt taking that, whatever you call that thing that he had around which was supposed to be covering his mouth, and put that thing up on the top of his head. And he looked like, and I don't know how to say this without being politically incorrect, but he looked like the only Middle Eastern-born college football coach in the history of college football. It looked like Saeed Tariq Farouk coaching college football, man. How next level did he look with that thing up on his head?
I mean, he's the only person I've ever seen wear something like that to try to prevent COVID. Just incredible.
And he had it on backwards, like it was like I don't know. He looked like it was almost like the way the rapper that made California Love. Why am I forgetting his? Tupac Shakur. It's almost like the way he used to wear his bandana up on his head. I don't know what Pruitt was going for, the look he was going for, but God, he was so next. You really think I'm next level? Yeah, I really think you're next level. I'm glad he's back. I think he's a pretty good coach, too. And I'll tell you another thing about him. The guy knew talent. The guy left Josh Heupel a pretty good football team, it turns out.
He'd have a role on any staff except the head coach. He should never, ever be a head coach.
No.
But he could be anything else.
I like him. So, color me excited for the Pruitt. In fact, I want to do this. Let's laugh a little. Give me a couple favorite memories or your favorite memory of Pruitt. Make me giggle. And I want to give the Bradley's chocolate covered strawberries away. They're in milk and white chocolate. They're available on the 13th and 14th. Of course, Bradley's is not Brad, because Brad, I gotta keep peace, joy with joy here, and the famiglia. But Bradley's, as we say, Bradley's Gift and Home. But they have 2 locations now. All the treats you want. So much more than just chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home, all kinds of amazing curated gifts. As Jeremy Puit would say, they got jewelry. They got candles and other for her gift items. Keep you from having to go anywhere else. So make it be your one-stop shop. Bradley's Gift and Home. Check out the website, shopbradleys.com. And I want to give a box of chocolate-covered strawberries away. If you can give me your favorite, just Pruitt era, something that makes you laugh and giggle when you think back to it. Matt, why don't you shoot? What's your favorite Pruitt era Pruittism?
Oh gosh.
What comes to mind?
When he told that cop to do his civic duty on that body cam, when I guess it was when Jeremy Banks got arrested for driving with a suspended license.
Banks, wow.
And he basically told him, this stuff doesn't go on where I've been. But he told the officer to do his civic duty. That was pretty funny.
He goes, really? He goes, really? We gonna do this? We don't do that. We gonna do this. We gonna do this. Brian, you have something for the Pruitt era that stands out to you?
I like when he fired the assistant coach. I think it was the defensive line coach. Literally at halftime, when that unit actually had been one of the better performing units that he had, and he fired him during halftime of the Kentucky game.
He came out post game and he's like, Jimmy Brumbaugh, he's no longer with us. Jimmy Brumbaugh. I mean, it was just so great. So great. So great. So great. We'll go to the phones. 865-200-5402. And then, Matt, what about these teams now playing home games in their local courts? And Marcos told us yesterday that what you want from a Tennessee perspective is Judge Haggerty to take several weeks before issuing his ruling, which is going to be, barring an upset by the NCAA, it'll be an upset. Because the Vols are up 14 right now. They're like a 14-point favorite heading into next Friday's festivities. But you want this thing to go several weeks, and that will give the NCAA less time for their appeal in a federal court, at which point, even if the NCAA says to the federal court, hey, we really need you to speed this thing up, they move at their own time, Marco says. They're not worried about doing the NCAA's bidding. So he thinks you should be able to play beat the clock, especially if it can get out to several weeks, into the middle of the spring maybe. What's your take on all this, Matt?
Yeah, well, I mean, Marcos kind of went into detail yesterday, but the NCAA just has no legal argument in local courts and with state laws. So, when you go this route, the NCAA is kind of, their hands are tied. The Bediako thing was a great example of that, and just how absurd that was that he came back. So, yeah, if you can, just kind of delay the game a little bit and keep it and get Agalar through December, that's really all you need for this. And that seems like that's what's going to happen. So, it's all just the fact that there's just no rules and stuff like this can happen. And it's just hard to have an opinion on it, really.
Cinco said yesterday.
It's just so absurd and stupid. And I mean, the Bediako thing was about as ridiculous as it can get. But I mean, if you're Tennessee, I mean, why stop with Agalar? Just bring Hendon Hooker back if we're gonna do this. I mean, I think he played the last year Bediako did. And I mean, he's not. It doesn't seem like he has much of a pro future. Bring Hendon Hooker back.
Bediako's
back.
Lawsuits now mentions Ethan Berg and Masamba about how well they were professionals. Why is European professionals any different than American professionals?
It's a good point. And if that's the case, Brian, and you can make that case in a local court, then why can't I come back? Hey, there's a guy right now who played about 50 games in the NBA that is trying to come back to college ball. You know what I think is going to happen? He's going to go to a local court. He's going to get a TRO, and he's going to end up on a basketball floor. And a couple of years ago, I told you that this was going to happen. I call them bounce back players. That's my coin. I've turned current two terms here, bounce backs. And the other term I'm coining is unprofessional sports. Because nothing about this era of major college sports is professional. It's not a professional relationship that these universities have with their ticket buyers. It's totally unprofessional. What they ask of ticket buyers now with these surcharges and these surtaxes. It's a completely unprofessional relationship between the fan and the student, quote-unquote student athlete, who are literally now rental players in a pickup term, in loosely affiliated teams, in loosely affiliated conferences governed by suits. That's all they are. This guy that's at the SEC is one of the most overrated windbags in sports. But truly, what's he going to do? It's like Dabo Swinney's up there the other day going, well, we sent it to the commissioner of the SEC. Good luck. What happened in your league, Dabo, when Miami flexed right on Duke and took a quarterback that was under contract from them? And I told you that was going to happen. And I'm no genius, if you listen to me. Until these guys get down to brass tacks, both sides, and I'm starting to think the players don't want it. But until why would the players want it? You got they forever they were in a modern day slavery system where their rights were owned. They had no recourse. If they went and sought a transfer, they had coaches threatening them. And that's what happened. And they had you had to sit out a year. So injurious to them. And now it's a total anarchy. And it makes no sense. And it's unprofessional sports. And it takes till this time of the year in basketball for this to look like college basketball. Have you noticed that, Matt? How now all of a sudden college basketball, you get to the latter part of January, early February, and now it looks like these teams have some cohesion to them. That's what's happened here, there, and everywhere. We have to acknowledge that. This is the era we're in. We look like a cohesive basketball team all of a sudden.
In Kentucky, the same way.
Same way. Yeah, it's real basketball.
They're just sort of
now.
both kind of streaking and peaking together.
Yep. And so if you're paying the full price, which you are, for those early season games, you're just watching elevated pickup basketball until about mid-January. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Because a guy like Barnes, smart guy, and his staff said, we're not going out like this. We're handing the ball to Nate Ament. We paid him $4 million, and he is going to captain our ship. Ride, Captain, ride upon this mystery ship. So we'll go to the phones. I want to hear from you. Give me a couple of funny Pruitt memories. Anything that comes to mind. or it can be in the aftermath. It can be anything related to Jeremy Puit. Make me laugh at Puit. Let's add a little mirth, a layer of mirth to this thing. And then the other question becomes, and I want your opinion on this, this Agalar thing, I mean, I could be wrong here, but I think this adds pressure to Heupel if he becomes eligible. Because all of a sudden you have a real expectation on your season. And I just want to remind you one more time, you're not playing the 2025 schedule in 2026. To say the SEC's, people are like, well, why, Tony? Because it's just one more game. That's no. It's not even apples to oranges. It's like apples to, I don't know, magic mushrooms. I mean, it's just not a comparison. But we'll go to the phones. Get as many people in here. 865-200-5402. Matt, do you think adding a Agalar for this year will increase the pressure on our head coach from fan expectation point?
Not really. I think the expectations are going to be high regardless. Maybe they would have been more unrealistic without him, but no, I think they're kind of the same. I mean, want to be kind of in the hunt for the playoffs come November and get into a scenario where you can play your way in with a game or two down the stretch. So I think you can be that with and maybe even without Agalar, but I think Agalar gives you the best chance to make the playoffs this year. Definitely gives you the best chance to beat Texas there early in the season. So I just don't see the downside that you do, Tone. I mean, besides the projecting ahead to 2027, but that's just so far in the future that I don't really see a point of trying to look ahead that far.
Yeah, that's kind of my.
I mean, he makes your team better this year.
Yes,
so
he does. No doubt.
I don't know why that would put heat on him for that. Like he's
because he makes your team better.
Gives your team a chance to win.
Yeah, because now fans will look at it and go, "Oh, you don't have a kid at quarterback. You have the guy that put up the great numbers last year, and you've added all these defensive players, and you better go 10-2 or you suck." Because if you go 8-4 again, which is a distinct possibility, by the way, then all of a sudden people are looking at the head coach going, "What in the hell are we paying this guy this money for?" Because that's what's going to happen if you have Agalar as your quarterback.
I think they view Heupel the same way, regardless of if the season plays out, how it plays out. I don't think Agalar being the quarterback changes much of that.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You are on our Thursday edition.
Tony B, Matt Diskin, Zach at E-Town.
Hey, Zachy.
Well, Johnson City, where we got some more snow.
Never-ending winter. The never-ending winter here, man.
Yeah, it's like Fargo.
Sure.
It's like that movie Fargo, which was on TV last night. These aren't direct Pruitt quotes, but I remember an article, I don't know if John Adams wrote it, about during all the recruiting scandals where I think he had an assistant that she wanted, that one of the recruits was asking for a tuxedo because the guy wanted to, was going to leave school early to come to UT for the winter. You know how they and the kid wanted a tuxedo, and I think her name was something Boone or something like that. And then there was another one where they wanted a room for one of the recruits' friends, and she said, "Homeboy can sleep on the floor."
Because when the stuff came out and we got like the some of the, what do you call it, like the texts and the things like that, you get in Discovery and these media people, homeboy can sleep on the floor. That's pretty good, Zach. I like that. You making me laugh today.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, I could almost see Pruitt saying, "Tell him just to lay in a cot, and then maybe Boone, I think was a young lady. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was a while ago, but I just remember homeboy can sleep on the floor. One of the all-time classic quotes. I also wanted to bring up just 2 quick points. I'm glad Larry Vaught picked the Cats to win that, because he always comes in and sandbags. And this time, I'm glad he was finally honest, because now I think we have a chance, Tony. The other thing is that the other night at the Mississippi game, I didn't get a chance to tell you guys this, and Danny White, this is for you, big boy, on the garage behind the administration building where everyone goes into the gate, where you have to go through the wand and the whole TSA type screening. There is a puddle of water that formed, and it started raining, and it was cold, and it was like 6 inches deep, and people were sloshing through that thing. It was up to your ankles, and somebody said, "Man, this is crazy." I was like, "Yeah, it's like Danny White's lake," because it's just initiating you with cold ice water on your shoes. And I said, "Yeah, be careful. Danny might charge you a permit to go to walk through it or go swimming in it if he finds out about this this puddle." It was just, I can't believe that, and it's all over the top part of the garage. I know it's kind of
Zach, I don't care if it's been drier than the darn Sahara Desert. There's going to be a puddle somewhere on that where you're talking about. There's always a puddle there.
Always.
I don't care if it's been raining.
Always.
I don't know how that happens. I don't know how they manage that, but it's stupid.
Hey, Brian, middle of July, you will get runoff from the air conditioners there, and it's going to form a puddle right in that spot at the base of that arena that Zach's talking about. And, Zach, by the way, I'm really thinking about, you ought to join me. I'm thinking about starting a side project in music called Danny and the Lanyards. And putting out a bunch of greed music, like songs about greed and getting into your pocketbook. And
that puddle was there long before Danny White, by the way.
That puddle,
Danny White doesn't care.
As long as you have a premium gate, yeah, he doesn't care. That's exactly right, Matt.
Right, yeah. See, I'm not going in the premium gate. Danny could. Do you think one of our songs could be, "You only give," or "You never give me enough money, but I'll give you a nice lanyard"? We could we could do that for
sure. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Danny. Thank you, Zach, in E-Town. I would call him Danny. My brain is. Let's go back to our phones, 865-200-5402. If you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. Also, Matt, we're going to start our YouTube chat. We're going to do once a week here. I don't know how we're going to structure it, but we're going to call it the Lieutenant's Lounge, Matt. Laura came up with that name. Your thoughts on that? The Lieutenant's Lounge.
I like it. That'd be fun.
Where we chew it up. Where we just come in and hang out on a weekly basis and chew it up with you. But shout out to Jeremy Puit. Do you guys remember that? Let homeboy sleep on the floor, or sleep on a cot, or whatever he said. Do you guys remember what he's talking about? One of those texts we saw.
Was that in Adam Sparks when he was recounting every instance of that?
Probably.
He was documenting it?
Probably.
I don't remember that one.
Mm-hmm. Pretty fun.
There were a whole bunch of hidden gems and that stuff that Adam got a hold of and released.
Oh, yeah. Well, the stuff that happens around here, like, what was the kid that was a total fraud that everybody thought was just the cat's meow and he was a complete...
J.J. Peterson?
No. I'm thinking about last summer. And then Adam uncovered that Tennessee was paying that kid a fee to be a consultant to our head football coach. What's the guy's name?
Grant
Thank
Furking.
Thank you.
Freaking something like that.
Things happen around here that you just cannot make up. You just can't make them up. And that's why we need a Lieutenant's Lounge. Just to hang out and break it down scientifically. So look for the Lieutenant's Lounge. Let's go back to our phones. Brian, what's the get-in for the Kentucky game?
I saw on this one place where it was $134 to get in.
Ain't bad. What's the get in for the North Carolina game?
I didn't. It just showed the SEC games.
Mark in the Colombo says, do I get...
Let me look that up.
Lieutenant Mark from Colombo says, do I get royalties on the Lieutenant Lounge? I don't know. Do you? I mean, I guess you could always file suit. I don't plan on sharing any of the proceeds from the Lieutenant's Lounge with you. Where do you think J.J. Peterson is these days? You think he's still playing for Rush Pro somewhere?
Hey, Tone.
Yeah.
You asked $549 to get in to Duke,
you.
North Carolina.
Total fraudulent game. Fraud.
My God.
Fraud. Where's the
That's
game?
double Alabama-Auburn.
Where's the game being played?
It's at North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
Total fraud game. Hello and welcome.
Which seats more people, by the way?
20,000 seat. Yeah, it's an aircraft carrier. Totally fraudulent basketball game. Only a $500 get in. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tone, it's Tom from Lexington, Kentucky, behind enemy lines.
Tom, good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you too. Interesting conversation going on. I think my favorite thing about the Pruitt era is not as humorous, but it's when he earholed Guarantano. When Guarantano lined up against Alabama for that QB sneak and fumbled the ball and got back to the sideline.
He snapped, didn't he? Every once in a while, Pruitt would go off his meds and freak. And, boy, he freaked on him. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Didn't Guarantano do something that wasn't called? Like he called his own number and there was a different blocking scheme, Matt? Is that what occurred there? Or am I imagining that?
Yeah, there was a different blocking scheme. They were at the goal line, and he tried a QB sneak that went the opposite way of the blocking and ended up fumbling, and it was like a 99-yard fumble return for a touchdown.
Let's freaking go, man.
I mean, after his first year, Pruitt really calmed down on the sidelines, except when he was playing Alabama or Auburn.
My take on Pruitt was, and I don't know to prove this, but he seemed kind of medicated after that first year. Because I remember that year, his second year is when the Georgia State game happened, right? And he just sat over there like in almost like a flatline state. It's like, where is this guy? What are we doing here? We're losing to Georgia State. You should be freaking out right now.
Well, and we traditionally get bad calls against Alabama.
Yeah.
But the officials just really put the screws to us every time we played them with Pruitt. Just weird anomalies kept happening in those games. So he finally got a taste of what it was like on the other side.
Yep. Totally agree.
So on the Joey thing, I just feel like we're making such a big deal out of this, but we're paying the kid $2 million. We've got an expensive quarterback room already, but it's a value for what we're getting. The only caveat that I would add to this is that we just need to play the best quarterback. So if Faison comes in and he's an athletic freak that can throw the ball, or if GMAC puts the weight on, then let's have a real competition. And then the only other thing I would add is that we better not be, if we bring Joey back, we better not be shopping in the portal for a QB for 27. That's the only thing that I will say. Then I will finally admit that we've got some really serious issues at the talent eval level for quarterbacks.
Or if you think that gives you the best chance to win, you have to shop in the portal, right?
Well, again, but how? Then you have to stop recruiting these high school quarterbacks.
Correct. I agree with that.
It's got to go one way or the other. It's so interesting to watch how we adapt to all this.
Yep.
But I would also say that it gives you the best chance to win, and you as much as I agree with you 100%, Tony. I would love for us just to play a freshman and build for 27, but I don't know how you do that and hold the locker room together at the same time. Because then it ends up looking like that 2020 COVID year when everybody was told the season doesn't really count.
Essentially, I'm punting on a year. Yeah, versus what you're talking about, which is, and Tom, you bring up a great point, and I made this point today in the blog. Look, if Brandon comes out, and here's the thing about our fan base right now, our fan base is very gun shy with these quarterbacks. and rightfully so, because our head coach is kind of, since he's been here, he doesn't know what he's looking at quarterback. I don't quite understand that. I think none of us do. Agalar was a better player than Nico, which made no sense. But he was a better player right away. I don't know if he would have been better in year 2 because Nico looked like he grew into being more of a runner and more athletic. But who the heck knows? To your point, the thing that's good about this scenario and the thing that I'm warming up to is the concept that you get a really good look at both of these kids, a really long look at both of these kids. Because talking to people, Agalar health-wise is not going to be able to go out there and do anything in the spring. So you take the entire spring and you figure out who both of these kids are. And you test them and you put them in spots. And then you take some of the summer and you do the exact same thing. And you pitch to both of these kids that, hey, you got a chance to be our starting quarterback this fall. Now, we're going to bring this guy back. We're going to pay him, which allows you to have credibility before your team that this is not a bridge year, to your point, Tom. But if push comes to shove and one of those guys is better than Agalar, you better have the guts to play him. You better have the stones to play him. And I don't know if these guys do. I think our head coach is risk averse, Tom. And that's the thing that scares me. I think he's too risk averse.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And on the way out for me, Tony, I would just say that I know that there were some spotty times with the show here and JG, but I would love for you to invite him on to shoot on Jeremy Puit for about 30 minutes.
Listen, I feel sorry for that kid when you look at his career, and thank you. I look back at the Guarantano years, and I feel sorry for him. How many different OCs did he play for, Matt?
At least 4.
It's a joke. He didn't
He never had a chance.
Never had a chance here. No. Nope. Never had a chance. And when you got four different voices in your ear, you never really know who you are. And of the 4 different voices, Matt, how many of them would you call solid minds when you look back on it?
I mean, Tyson Helton's proven to be a pretty decent coach.
Yeah.
But his year here was a total disaster, and him and Puit just never got along.
Yes.
And never fit. I don't know. Guarantano he was in such a bad position with what was around him and the coaching and just, as good as highly ranked as he was, he wasn't that, as bad as, we want to crack on the guy. He was never going to live up to those recruiting rankings because he wasn't even a great high school player, which is what was the craziest thing about him.
Yeah, it wasn't. The whole thing was not fair to him from beginning to end. Yeah. The expectations were.
He handled it like a pro and still does, which is really crazy that he still loves this place. He has zero reason to.
What I like about him is he's really, really, really great online. I hope he sticks with that because that's a tough slog. Carving out your own niche in any of this stuff is really hard. It's hard to monetize it. You get to the point where a lot of people just give up, and that's why you see what people want to start things, and it looks easy, and it's not. But he is a really good communicator. I think he could have a really bright future as a broadcaster. I find him to be insightful. I find him interesting. I think he's kind of self-deprecating, which is something worth celebrating. And yeah, we were pretty rough on him here. I mean, we called the guy Club Gitmo on the air, which, at that point.
Capped at 24 points.
At that point was a torture facility off the coast of Miami.
Capped at 24 points.
And we called called that era torture. But it was only because, and we would play in the club too. by the way. In the club, got some bud, in the club. So, I mean, would we do that all over again if we were given the chance? Yeah. I really do think the guy has a bright future as a broadcaster. I hope he stays with it. And the SEC network or somebody needs to hire him and give him a shot. But 865-200-5402. And as a couple folks are making fun of him, Matt, because he would he would score a touchdown to make it 35-7, and he would shoot his arrow. Like there was some of that. I mean, that era, there certainly was some of that.
Running right into a sack.
Dark humor, or, and I love him. I appreciate him.
Just getting, not recognizing the blitz and just getting
snapping
hammered.
a ball
Had
when
no
the numbers.
clue.
Yeah, when he wasn't coached. To Matt's point, he wasn't coached. I mean, if Chris Winkie over there developing it. Where is Winkie now? Stinky Winkie. Tinky Winkie.
He was the QB coach at Georgia Tech, and he was their OC for their bowl game. I don't know if he's retained or what his deal is.
Let's freaking go.
Coach Heisman.
Let's freaking go. Yeah, he carries that thing around like he's in WWE, and it's the Money in the Bank briefcase. So we continue with more. We'll get some more calls in after this. Electrician. Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexio Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexio builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexio.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexio, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest, finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show is taking off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn in the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
TB back with the 865-200-5402. Fired up, focused, and prepared. Larry Vaught today picked your Kentucky Wildcats to defeat the Vols Saturday, which is newsworthy because generally he's picking the Vols in recent years. I think this is an interesting game. I think this is an interesting game. Equally as interesting, we're a week out from the start of college baseball season. Is that right, Bri? How many days? 10 days? 12 days? What's the number?
It's 8 days.
8 days.
Next Friday, 13th.
8 days on the road, and I'm going to make it home. And what time's first pitch, Bri?
I believe it's 4:30 in the afternoon.
Shit. I'll be in the house.
Matt, do you want a weather report?
Advance, give me an advance. Let's do that. An advance. Larry Vaught did a thing today of something daints and fraints or something. He was really getting it. Do you think he knows, Bri, that we talk about his chaints and all that stuff? Because he said
I'm
today
sure that's gotten back to him. It has to have.
Because he said daints and fraints today, like in a sentence. I was like, "You come on, man, you're leaning into it now. Come on, brah." All right, Bri. Go ahead.
Well, let me.
Before you do that, give us the breaking news on where the coaches have ranked this year's edition of the baseball team, who go into uncharted territory without the man with the glowing smile, the man with incredible teeth, the man that can light up a room like light bright. Bri, where are the Vols?
Tennessee's been picked. They've been picked to finish 6th in the SEC behind number 1 is LSU, 2 is Texas, 3 Mississippi State, Arkansas is 4, and somebody else is between them and 6, but the Vols are 6th, which is still Omaha good.
Matt, how do you
plead?
In
the SEC.
Matt, how do you plead to that ranking?
That seems pretty fair.
I agree.
Gets you right there in the mix to host a regional or be a regional host, which is kind of my goal every year.
Yep.
At least it has been. Obviously some years you have higher expectations than that, but if you can try to host a regional every year, you're in a good position. Kind of middle of the pack. The less kind of hype and this team gets going into the season, I think is better.
Yes.
To help Elander grow into being the head coach and take some of the pressure off the players. And, they have a really talented team, and I don't think there'll be a ton of drop off. It'll be interesting to see how they work it out with the new rosters and how do they approach midweek games differently and all that stuff. So it should be fun, and they'll be, got enough talent to make Omaha again.
Matt will be in the house covering the event. We're also going to do our Garza Law Extra Innings program after the baseball games, after the series finales. Will Heflin's starting a new podcast for us called Starting Rotation, which is going to drop Wednesdays for the Thursday series games. Well, probably on Thursdays, really. But anyway, and then he and Matt will be doing our post-game stuff. He and Matt will also be collaborating on that podcast. Plus, Matt's going to be doing some of his own stuff over on our YouTube channel as well. So we've got a ton of baseball coverage coming your way, and it's very, very, very exciting. We're excited for the upcoming season. And before we go back to the phones, we were talking about the Gitmo years, and Hewitt Pruitt put it this way, because if you remember, somebody pointed out that at one point his name was Guarantano. Brian, where did it start and what did it become? I can't keep all this straight.
It was Guarantano to Guarantano. Some announcers, some TV guys would say Guarantano.
Okay, and which one's right?
And I don't know if that's Tom Hart or Dave Neal, but I always thought it was Guarantano.
What is it, Matt? What did he want to be called? I think he told us it was Guarantano, didn't he?
Eventually, he said it was Guarantano, right?
Like Dan Tano.
Is that right?
Like Dan Tano. Following Starsky and Hutch, Dan Tano.
I don't know. He got hit so much, his name changed.
Pruitt said tomato, Vescovi, Guarantano. Let's call the whole thing off. That's a great line. We have some simpletons over on our YouTube channel if you want to check that out. For some reason, in mid-February, on kind of a cold day, there's like a couple hundred people in there watching right now. And Will Heflin's so great. I love him. That was fun, right, Matt, doing that with him?
Yeah, good. He brings a really great perspective from a little inside the program, so it makes it really good.
And he's really high on Elander, too, which will be fun to see. You know, I'm not so sure the Vols won't get better at game management with him at the helm. You guys just gonna let that hang out there? Nobody gonna comment on that? All right,
they're gonna hold runners on
go!
base.
I mean, let's go. God forbid you throw over to first base, you know? That thing with Marcus Phillips last year, that one game when they decided to start doing it after that, when he gave up like 19 steals, is one of the silliest things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, no offense. And I love Frank Anderson, but gee, you talk about stubborn. You talk about committing to the bit. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You are on our Thursday edition. We talk about the fact that Joey Agalar, we get him back. That's in the mix and in the hunt. Your thoughts on that? Tennessee and Kentucky and Lexington on Saturday night. 8:30 start, probably more like 8:45. Jeremy Puit looks like he's going to go back to Maryland and going to re-enter the college game, coaching at Maryland with Mike Loxley up there, who back in the old days was a good old renegade himself. And Mike Loxley was on Nick Saban's staff, so obviously that's how they know each other. Or Saban, if you will, if you want to take when Pruitt looked like one of the Turbinators. But let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Lumbo. Welcome in, man. 2 days in a row.
I got a question for the panel, everybody.
All
right. You can have year 2 of GMAC, Faison Brandon, or year 1 of whatever, if those two can't play, year 1 of whatever transfer QB they go and get in 2027, or you can have year 2 of Agalar in 2026. Which one are you choosing?
Matt, which one are you choosing?
I'd probably Agalar just because it's the upcoming season and the portal's always available for a quarterback if you get desperate. But I think you could go either way with it.
Tony?
Bri?
Well, I want to see Agalar in a second year with Heupel, and if that's available, I think I'm okay with shelving either McIntyre or Faison for a year. But I want to see after this year. I don't think if one of those guys can play, I don't want to bring in another transfer quarterback after this. Though.
I want to go. I want to see one of the kids play this year and see if they can play. That's my.
Do you think that Joey Agalar is going to magically turn into Baker Mayfield with an extra year? He's 25 years old. We know what he is.
Matt,
I don't get this idea that he's somehow going to be like he's going to turn into a first-round draft choice.
Nobody's saying that, Mark. Nobody's saying
we know what he is.
Mark.
Well, we might have a first-round draft choice sitting in the room in the building already.
Why do we have to go so hard? We don't have to go that hard on the kid. He wants to be here.
Here's why, Tony. Let me explain to you why.
Okay.
We played 5 teams with a pulse last year. We lost all 5 games. It wasn't all Tim Banks' fault. Come on. He led the SEC in passing. Yeah, he also threw for more yards than Fernando Mendoza. You know who I'd rather have as the quarterback? He beat 8 teams that aren't any good. That Florida team was an absolute corpse when we went and played it. I don't think they practiced 5 minutes that week. At least they looked like it. I mean, we saw this already, man. Like, he's not going to magically get better.
Matt,
he is what he is.
Hey, Matt, does he make a good point or no? Or can he get better?
I mean, I think he can get a little bit better and more comfortable in Heupel's offense, which I think was a lot of the kind of clock and game mismanagement stuff. Is Heupel wasn't on the same page with him in some of those spots. But no, he's not going to turn into some great NFL quarterback. He's not going to make a Hendon Hooker jump. He's not a dynamic guy with his feet. Yeah, all that's very true. I just I think he gives you a chance to have 7 or 8 wins, and you're in that game or two where you could play yourself into the playoffs. So, I mean, he was good enough to get you to the playoffs this year if you had a decent defense.
Come on, man. Come on. I love you, Matt. He wasn't good enough to get
I disagree
to the
with you,
playoffs.
Matt. I disagree with that, Matt. He's not an upright. He's not going to win.
He's not good enough.
Season trajectory is totally different.
He's not going to win upper echelon games.
Where he had taken off his throwing arm, that had to matter.
Sure, but he's not going to win up.
I
agree with Mark.
He was the reason they lost that. First of all, Alabama and Oklahoma weren't any good, and he couldn't beat the one on the road, and he couldn't beat Oklahoma in his own building. And those 2 teams weren't good.
Unfortunately, I'm siding.
They were not good football.
I'm not
teams.
siding with Mark as hard as he's coming today, but I side with him on the guy's a nice player. He's okay. He's not an upper echelon player.
He's okay.
Yeah,
he's
that's what he is.
Fine.
He's not a playoff winning quarterback, but you know what you've got in him.
Yes.
And I used to say you don't have a package.
I know what I got.
On.
That's why I want to go with something else.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. I'm
that's
not as hard as you are on it, but that's my take. Is I would rather see something else. I want to see if one of those kids can play, because if they can't, then you've got to figure out something for 2027, which is your come year, because that's got to be your year. They're loading it up for 2027. It's obvious.
I mean, and I love everything they've done this offseason. It's been great.
Yes.
I'm warming up to the Knowles hire because of the personnel they brought in. This Chaz Coleman is going to be an absolute animal. I'm telling you. He's going to be a first-team All-SEC defensive edge guy. He's a freak show.
Well, stay right there. Great. Stay right there. Hang on one second, because I'm excited about seeing these guys play. I'm excited about the change at defense. I'm excited about the upcoming season. The Agalar thing's a little bit of a curveball, but it's interesting. The playbook with William Pattison's on the way next here on Fan Run. We'll continue to kick it around in our little world.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
My take on the Agalar thing is like Mark's. I just think and I could be wrong, I think he's an okay college football player with a ceiling, and we saw it last year, and I don't think he can run well enough to beat teams that matter on our schedule. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's wrong. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on it.
That's my point, too. He's got a ceiling. We saw the ceiling.
Yeah. I'm not going to make it I don't know
what McIntyre and Brandon's ceiling is.
I want to say,
but I'm willing to bet with their pedigree, it's higher than Aguilar.
Well,
the pedigree they came in
and
with.
Matt, to the point, if those guys, you give them an opportunity and they can't do it, then you've got to go out and find another player, right? That's my point here. That's what this year gives you a chance to see what you have in those 2 guys.
And Tony,
that's all.
You're going to see that spring.
Yeah,
I don't understand why
Merkler
was getting snaps at all in the fall. That was mind-blowing to me. Why he played any snaps in any game was insane.
Matt, I don't understand the spring thing.
I would have given McIntyre the bowl game. Like, it's a scrimmage.
I agree with that.
Like what? What are they doing? I gotta watch Merklinger out there against New Mexico State.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why?
I don't know. I agree with that.
Did anybody ever ask Heupel that? Why did Merklinger get snaps against New Mexico State?
They always knew. They always knew Merklinger was leaving. I guess the thought was G-Mac's too thin, too slight, too little to even put him out there.
I think. Hey, Tony, I think the rest of the league should be kind of happy that Alabama didn't hire Pruitt as like a DC or a defensive backs coach.
I don't think there's any question. Yeah, I don't see Pruitt though fitting in with that head coach down there. Those two guys.
He'd run him over. He would run that guy over.
Yeah, that'd be oil and water. Yeah,
he'd run that guy over. Like, I mean, I'm happy he's getting back in, man. The guy he should be allowed to make a living because all this is legal now. Like, let the dude make some money. Come on.
I agree. Put him back in. And Lumbo, thank you. We'll go back to the phones. As 2 days in a row with a Lumbo. Tim Parker says the coaches don't believe in the backups, but Tony and Psycho Lumbo sure do. Psycho Lumbo. I don't know that the coaches don't believe in the backups. Any college football coach is going to play the known. And Josh Heupel is that way to the highest power. This guy is not a risk taker. He plays one on television, but he's not a risk taker. To Brian's point, how many onside kicks has he ever attempted? He's not a risk taker.
He did go for it on 4th and 1 at his own 10-yard line, I think, against Florida, maybe in 24.
He's not a risk taker.
But
he looks like a risk taker. He looks like a risk taker, but he's not a risk taker.
I thought he was maybe when he first got here. First couple of years, it looked like he might have been more of one.
Maybe, because he's getting less and less risky as it goes. And
he also had Hendon Hooker at quarterback and an offense that teams weren't ready to defend.
That's right. That's right. Man, that's a great point, Matt.
But I want to see the young guys too. I think McIntyre and Faison, they absolutely have way more upside than Agalar. But you also don't even know what their floor is. You at least know what the floor is with Agalar, and he gives you a chance to win more games this year.
That's why it's a great conversation.
I mean if Texas comes in here and Arch, launches a Heisman campaign and they beat you 42-14, like with the young guys, because you're playing the young guys getting ready for 27, that makes for a long season.
Or the other side of that, Matt, is if he comes in here with Texas, who's better than you, and they rock your world and play like Texas can, say they've already beaten Ohio State and they come in here and they got a full head of steam and the whole deal. Because we got to hope Ohio State gets them and knocks them off their moorings, like what happened to them last year. Because all of a sudden they're in a fishbowl down there in Austin, and they're hard on that team when they lose a game. They'll be all over them. That Ohio State game, we have to all be Ohio State fans early in the year. And I'm glad they're playing it. It's great for the sport. Matt, what happens if they come in here and they rock our world and they play like they can? All of a sudden, we got to start talking about playing the young kids next year. I thought that's where you were pivoting with that, because I think that's a possibility too coming out of that game.
No, I think that's a really key game because it's early in your season, and But Agalar gives you the best chance to win that game, I think.
Yes,
but regardless, it's not. I mean, who knows how the season plays? I mean, Agalar could get hurt. Maybe he doesn't recover from this injury or whatever. Maybe they have install a package for Faison Brandon to be a running threat that Aguilar's not, and you kind of slowly develop him like that. I mean, there's. Who knows how it plays, but projecting ahead to 27 in this era, I just think it's kind of silly because you've got to win now, and you got to at least be competitive now and try to make the playoffs now. And Agalar gives you that chance. I think where Tennessee's at as a program, you're good enough to be on the fringes of the playoffs, even in these kind of tweener years.
It's fair. That's why I'm not going to say my way is the only way. I think that's what makes this a great topic to talk about, and will make it an interesting topic, especially once he wins his case. It's just an interesting time. The quarterback thing as well. Where here's my thing about spring ball though. Heupel's already proven to me in spring ball he doesn't know what he's looking at. They went through an entire spring with Hendon Hooker, and went and got Joe Milton. Is that a true statement or a false statement, Matt? That's what's weird about this head coach. He's great at coaching those guys. I just don't know at this level if he knows what he needs. It's weird. How did Hendon Hooker in a spring look so bad that they went and got Joe Milton? I mean, let's think about that for a second. That's weird.
It's weird. I think Hooker came out and admitted that he was not good that spring, that he didn't click with the coaching and all that, but it made no sense. I mean, they got Milton the day of the spring game. So that was like halfway through that, like 5 or 10 practices into that spring, they decided that Hooker wasn't the guy. And Hooker kind of said that he wasn't very good then. So that was weird. And then you just somehow made that work, during that season. And it was an incredible 2-year run. So it is weird that we have so many questions about the quarterback spot.
And I love all the open-endedness. Like we ship Floors Allen. He says Joey's back, new kicker, better offensive line, better defense. So who knows? He's right. I'll add one more thing. The league is a little not wide open, but the problem with Tennessee this year is the league has about 3 or 4 good teams, like you call like upper echelon-y. They're all on our schedule this year. This is the year the era where you want to play Florida every year. You just want to play them. They rotate off our schedule. The 2 Texas schools are buying everybody in sight. I mean, they're buying people away from Alabama. Alabama's slipping now. We want them on our schedule. Georgia has slipped from where they were. The teams we have on our schedule, the LSUs of the world, LSU's either going to boom or bust by the time we get to them. That's how LSU in this portal era, that's how it's going to burn for them. Because they're another school where when they lose a game, their fan base freaks out on them and turns on them. And Texas, I'm telling you, Matt, is that not a correct statement that if Ohio State gets them this year, 2 years in a row, their fan base is going to freak the hell out in that first week?
I mean, they'll definitely be really frustrated. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They went through a whole lot of lumps this past year, especially early in the year and with Arch. But, it's year 2 with him. And if their line's a lot better, I mean, it can't be worse. So that'll be a really fun game to watch. That's
really
a nice
fun
2-game stretch for Texas. They host Ohio State and then come to Knoxville. That's pretty cool.
It's something
a lot of airtime for Cupper.
A lot of airtime for Cup. The Cupster's going to have a leg up in the Heisman race pretty early if he plays well. Which would be really ironic if he comes to Neyland Stadium and plays. That would be the most Tennessee thing all time. If he comes in here and careers it that day, Matt, against our defense that at that point is going to be trying to figure out what this guy's teaching, which is the script. I mean, for him, if you look at it. If he comes in here and careers it and gets a leg up in that Heisman race and just goes wire to wire, that would be the most Tennessee thing ever. Like, as in literally ever. Timothy McGee, Super Chat, says, I agree with you. I have mixed feelings about this. I'm thinking about the quarterbacks we have of the future, and quarterback is willing to sit on the bench. If they know the coach is always dabbling in the portal. See, that's an interesting other sidebar to this is you wonder how long these kids are willing to sit and wait. Any of them. That's the interesting sidebar here. I think it's going to be really interesting to hear what GMAC does in the spring, because if there's a lot of buzz about him, he's going to be hard to keep on your roster in 2027. And people know. In this league, they knew Joe Burrow could play at Ohio State. Now, they didn't know he was that level of player. But I remember Lumbo calling us about him because he knew it. Because there are no secrets. Do you guys remember that offseason when Lumbo was calling and he goes, there's a guy up here at Ohio State Tennessee needs to get. His name's Joe Burrow. And we were like laughing at him. And when he got on that field at LSU, nobody was laughing. I remember kind of cracking on him then. And so that just goes to under the heading of no secrets. There are no secrets.
Well, he wasn't great his first year down there. I mean, I think they won 9 games, but their defense was good. It's funny because he threw a pick 6 in the Fiesta Bowl, ironically against Heupel's UCF team, and he got like blindside blocked on the play, like a cheap shot. And everybody in that program says that he became a completely different person and player after that. And then that next year they had, the greatest offense in college football history, at least the best passing game ever, and just took off.
And by the way, I'm not blaming Josh Heupel for falling in love with the physical prowess of Joe Milton. Everybody does that. But the guy literally can't play quarterback. I mean, I'm for him 100%. I think he's a fun-spirited guy.
Between Hooker and Milton, only one of them's kind of been on an NFL roster. It's weird. And you can see why they took Milton.
Yeah.
And Milton fooled Jim Harbaugh, too.
Huge arm.
And Hooker can't even be on basically a practice squad, but he was the perfect quarterback for Heupel's offense.
I agree with Matt 100%. If Betty Crocco does this, now you want something I'm 100% in favor of, I would go get Hendon Hooker tomorrow if I could. You want to get biddy you want to get busy in a Knox County courtroom? I sign up for that. Let's go back to the phones. Joe Milton's currently with the Cowboys on their roster, which is a perfect spot for him, by the way. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
How are my friends, compatriots doing today?
Hey, W. Lynn, welcome in.
One thing about not looking to 2027 is whatever 105 guys we have lined up on scholarship this year in a uniform, 30 or 40 of them will be gone before 2027. Do you think?
100% agree with that. No, it's exactly right. Tennessee had 24 guys this year go into the portal. 24, and that's a low number going forward. You're going to have 27, 28 guys at all these programs leaving at the end of the year.
So it's hard to predict 2 years down the road, and that's why I want Joey football. I think he can run good enough, and if we got a decent offensive line, I think we got our best shot of going 9-3, which might get a playoff berth.
With that schedule, it might. You're right, because Tennessee will have played.
Everybody's
a Rolls-Royce
y'all
schedule.
Keep ripping on last year's schedule. Okay, we played 4 teams that finished in the top 7. They finished in the national top 15, and 3 of them went to the playoffs. Yeah, we went 0-4. A&M only played 1 of the top 7. They went 0-1. Vandy played 2, went 0-2. Ole Miss played 2, went 1-1. I mean, I know we played the Hoopties at the bottom, but our schedule wasn't that easy when you look at it. Like, we played 4 teams in the top 15 of the country. Now, you know who else? The only other team in that top 7 that played 4 of those others is Texas, and they went 3-1, but they lost to the Hoopty Florida, who was 4-8, and they lost to a Power 4 Ohio State, which knocked them out of the playoffs. Which means, now that we got this rule, we still got to play Power 4, us and every other good team is going to start trying to play the worst Power 4 teams you can play, because Texas proved you get penalized for losing by 7 points at Ohio State. So we'll be playing the bottom of the Big 12 and the ACC like we kind of have been, and everybody's going to start doing that. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, I think eventually they're going to punish those people. But they have to lift up a Texas for going to Ohio State and losing that game. You shouldn't count it again. You're right about that. That's a hole in the whole committee's game in terms of choosing these playoff teams.
And like I said, we played 4 teams last year that finished in the SEC top 7. Well, that's all we play this year. Texas replaces Georgia. We play Alabama. At A&M replaces Oklahoma, and we play at Vandy. So we're playing 4 of last year's top 7 again this year. But we're playing LSU and Auburn. I know that.
Yeah, it's a gathering storm this year.
But they have first-year head coaches.
And they have first-year head coach, that's right. And LSU is highly flammable. They could be totally on fire when we get here, when we get to that game, or they could be totally on fire when we get to that game.
It's basically what we said about Florida going in the last.
That's right, Matt. That's right.
And we said it about Oklahoma last year. They might be all beat up by the time we get them.
Well,
they kind of were beat up, but we were too, you know. And just playing that 9th conference game, everybody's going to have a lot more bumps and bruises and not be on the injury list, but not be 100%. The whole SEC is going to have to get used to that.
No doubt about it. It's a different era. It's going to be fun watching these 9 games. I'm not sure it's going to be fun for players.
Right. And Tony, you asked about the coaches poll in baseball. We're 15th, and that's the 7th in the SEC. We're 15th. Georgia's 13, Auburn 9, and then Matt covered the other ones. LSU's number 1.
I like it. I like that. I think that's perfect.
Texas number 3. I can't wait till we play Texas. That's a dream come true for me.
I don't want to steal Matt's thought here, but Matt, you're right about this. You don't want to be too high coming into this year, right? That's the bottom line. Make these kids earn it. Go out there on the field and let's come through the back door this year.
I agree. You know, show them this poll and say, look, guys, we're 7th or 8th best in the SEC right now. What are we going to do about it?
No doubt about it.
So I'm looking forward to it. In basketball, I never dreamed we'd be 6-3 at this point, even at the start of the season. No. So I hope we can win in Rupp, but if we don't, it's not a complete disaster.
I'm starting to think, just a gut feeling on my part, that this Rick Barnes guy kind of knows what he's doing in the regular season.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it.
I'm starting to think that.
And all of our pieces are getting a little bit better every game, I think.
Well, Joe, W. Lynn, you're the man. It'll be interesting. We'll be on with you midnight rendezvous. No question about it. Tennessee and Kentucky Saturday night. Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. Alan Ward, Joey's going to do great this year if he stays and plays, and maybe he'll be the first player ever to draw state of Tennessee retirement as a player. Matt, you talked about that. The fact that I don't even know if it's college football anymore when you've got all these old guys playing quarterback. And that was one of Cinco's thoughts yesterday, is, you know, these guys that are 26, 27 years old running around playing quarterback now. And I think that's going to become more the norm if you don't get your hands around this and you're the NCAA. Why wouldn't it be? Why would I want to go to the spring league and make $60,000 when I can make $2 million and I'm Joe Milton or Joey Agalar?
Yeah, and actually be successful.
Yeah.
No, it's and I don't know how the NCAA does get their hands around it. You have to have some kind of, I don't know, the 5 and 5 rule or whatever.
Yep.
But I mean, you got to have something. But
yep.
Until then, you might as well take advantage of it. I mean, Indiana did it last year.
Yep.
Vanderbilt did it with Pavia.
Why wouldn't you do it? Everybody was like, somebody.
Ole Miss is going to try to do it with Chambliss. I mean,
somebody in the chat yesterday was like, well, Indiana won with a bunch of 25-year-old kids. Well, why wouldn't you? And Vanderbilt won with a bunch of 25-year-old kids, yeah. And they went to the Power 4 or I'm sorry, to the group of 5 and got a bunch of players. Why wouldn't you do that if you're Vanderbilt? I would do it again this year. Of course you do that. Well, I mean, yeah. That, to me, that doesn't dismiss you. That doesn't at all diminish what you accomplish. To me, you're playing the game. The rules in front of you. By the way, Marcos had a really good point yesterday regarding the Agalar thing, which is that, you know, the way the local rules are written now, and we quoted him in the blog extensively today. The way these rules are written, the way that rule's written in the state of Tennessee, you're going to start seeing more of this. Because the NCAA is not going to be able to win on the local level. And the pattern's going to be wait till you get into the January of that particular year and then say we'll see you in court. You don't want the case to be heard too soon. But you want it to be heard soon enough. And you want to kind of time it. That's going to be the new thing. Here, there, and everywhere. Because one of the things Marcos said is that when you get to the federal cases and you get to that level, there's more case law to stand on. At the local level, the NCAA has zero chance. They will not win home games. They're not going to come in your building and win. They're just not. Let's go back to our phones. And it's an interesting thing to consider. And look, I'm not a... my brain is not big enough to retain all the material that those guys retain, those guys and gals. And certainly a guy like Marcos, he's got like a supercomputer. I got like a Pentium 486 from like 1994. My skill is people reading and comedy. That's my skill.
I got to jump, guys. See you tomorrow.
Love you. Let's go back to our phones. I'm a comedy guy and a people reader. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys? Josh, your boy.
Wings. Come strong with it, Josh. Come strong.
Yeah, you are strong, Tony. So, is it just me or, Tony, question for you or Matt, why has Heupel, in his own system, why has he not been able to develop a quarterback under his system yet?
Matt, he did it with aplomb at Missouri. He did it with ease where he was before. What do you think's led to this, Matt?
Well, he started 4 different quarterbacks each of the last 4 years also.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to develop guys if they're not multi-year starters. So, I mean, you know.
Although in the case of Hooker,
on Milton and then, I mean, Nico, you would always take a chance on Nico. Just like you're always going to take a chance on a Faison Brandon. But, you know, you had the Nico thing kind of burn up on you, you know, last April, and you're still kind of, you know, reeling from that a little bit.
We were the vanguard, Josh, last year, or when we got Nico. I was 100% in favor of it, completely excited about it, because it's a thing that a half program that's aspiring to play at the top does. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, and you know, the kid just didn't have it, and I'm not sure he has it between his ears, to be honest about it.
Yeah, that's fair, Tony. So, and that's where I'm at the point. I kind of hope Joey doesn't win his case, and I love Joey and all, but you got to see what you got for your freshmen, if Heupel can develop them or not with Faison or McIntyre. That's kind of why I agree with Colombo. You got to see what you got.
I agree with Colombo. I don't know that you can develop without playing football games. I mean, I guess you can. I don't know that you can, though. I don't think there's any teacher like the experience of doing it. Look, I can sit here and play.
Why do you think Heupel didn't play McIntyre any in the Crip games? Why do you think he played Merklinger instead of McIntyre?
Last year, because he's built like Manute Bol. I believe that. They didn't want to get him hurt. I just believe that.
Yeah.
To me, looking back on the bowl game now, if you play him out there against that Illinois team, It's easy to say they should have played him because I agree with
He
Mark
gets
when he
killed
said it.
probably.
Yeah, the way our line was blocking that day, Matt, he would have taken a beating, that young kid, wouldn't he?
Yeah. And I guess, I don't know, at the time you probably thought it was Aguilar's last game and he, was going to have that surgery afterward, but yeah.
Brent CDT.
If Agalar wanted to play, I think you owed it to him to play him because he saved your season. Even though that's not really building towards the future, I still think there's a right way to do things as a program. And Heupel's going to kind of lean on that. And so as long as Agalar wanted to play, if you wanted to give McIntyre a series or two, sure. But that game was so weird. You only had the 3 first half possessions and then you had that strip sack. So
one thing that's true that Matt says, that people that don't hold our position, one thing that's true, Josh, that they say, if you get those kids out there next year and the season goes really south on you, the fans are going to be all over this head coach. They're right. They're right about that.
When do you guys think the tumor started affecting him in the season? What game do you guys think it was?
I don't know. But they were saying that towards the end of the year, my intelligence on that is that he would come to the sideline literally like wincing in pain.
Oh, wow.
And they hid it from everybody.
You guys think if he wouldn't have had that tumor problem, do you think we might have taken a game or two, like maybe won 9 or 10 games?
No idea.
Or you guys probably not with the way our defense played most of the season?
That defense was so bad and so unserious would be my term for that defense. You're not a serious football team when you have that coordinator.
By the time the injury was affecting his play, your defense had checked out for the season.
Yeah, that was unserious.
Maybe he doesn't get strip sacked versus Oklahoma. Maybe you could argue that the pain kept that, but and you maybe win that game because you were getting ready to go up by 2 scores there and really put them. You probably win that game without that. So maybe it changes that a little bit, but yeah.
So let's say we win 13 games. That's how many more we got? 8, 9 games left in conference?
Yeah.
So let's say we win 8 of our 9 or 7 out of our 9. Do you think if we get to 13 conference wins, Tony, could that possibly get us to maybe the last 3 seed in the tournament?
No idea. I know one thing. Nothing occurs in a vacuum. So that's dependent on what else happens across college basketball. Keep stacking wins. A win in Lexington Saturday night would be absolutely huge if that's your aspiration for this year, to continue to jump through a seed line. Win in Lexington Saturday night. That's how you do that.
And out the door, guys, that's some stupid BS that we probably won't even get to see the tip-off Saturday night. We'll probably have to wait to see the game at the 12-minute mark. That's some stupid BS. See you guys.
Thank you. He's got a great point, Matt. If you're going to do this, why don't you just say the first period begins over on ESPNU? Why aren't you just intellectually honest about it so people know where to find it?
That's what they do.
I know.
They just wait until 10 minutes before it happens to announce it.
It's really silly.
But the game's absolutely going to start on an alt channel for through at least the first TV timeout. Yep. So, the real question is, how many fouls do Gillespie and Boswell have when the broadcast finally gets on ESPN?
Ooh, that's a good little Tony total right there, Matt.
Nice little VIP play there.
Combined, Matt. What would the number be combined by the time that thing gets to the big platform and that Duke Love Fest is over? What's the number between the two guys, Matt? What should we install the number at?
Probably 1.5, but because it'd be hard to make it 2.5, and if you do 2, you could get a push. But maybe 1.5.
1.5 is a great number. I agree with that. And by the way, you could maybe make that play over at VIP Play. Actually, you can't because we don't do prop bets in college sports over at VIP. Well, you don't do them in the state of Tennessee, which is a good thing, by the way. Keep the heat off the athletes. There's enough heat on the athletes anyway with what's going on. But our friends at VIP Play, look, the Olympics are here. How do I know? Well, I had in the middle of the night. I'm watching a little TV because my throat hurts, I slept a little bit last night, but a little more. But I had Peacock on. And they had some Olympic curling going, which was so next level. C is so fired up, focused, and prepared. He's having a curling watch party on Sunday that I'm going to attend. And we're fired up, focused, and prepared for that. All the Olympic action you can bet on over at VIP Play. 200 leagues live always. Numerous bet types, props, options. My Flyers are in action tonight against the Senators, a game that will never be forgotten by the living fan. You know you're fired up, focused, and prepared. You bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The big game is on Sunday. Tons of activity for the big game. Rice fans. Promo code phrase pays TN Tony. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. Matt, am I doing a bet when I say that C loves the world of curling? People think we're doing a bit here.
That'd be a really bad bid if that's what you were making up.
It's not a bit. 2 Olympiads ago, he had 20 guys in his apartment for the when Schuster took us to the championship. He had 20 guys in his house having a watch party for a match, I want to say against, was it Canada or Sweden? The match began at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they were up till 3:30 watching it. All gambling on it. Might be the greatest thing ever.
Now, that's a watch party that's sponsored by that gambling hotline.
Let's go back to the phones. Hello, and Schuster's my boy, by the way. Hello and welcome in. You're on our overtime.
I am on.
You are on.
Hey, Tom's boy Billy from Harriman. I mean, what a slow show midweek in the winter. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
And I got, hey, man, me too, man. I got nothing at all to add of substance, no value to add to this call or anything.
That's me.
But
every day, brother. You know what I am? I'm like an empty vessel, brah. I just come on here every day and I just, what's the word? I like show my emptiness.
You're incubator, bro.
Yes.
All right, but hey, so all I'm going to do, I'm just going to do my shout-outs. My top 3. Man.
I do some shout-outs. Three, Jeremy Puit. And you're in range to qualify for the Bradley's chocolate.
You want to send me some chocolate?
Yeah, if you tickle the twine here and make me giggle, which I think you'll probably make me giggle knowing you before it's over.
All right, man. Well, all right, here go. My top 3 balls of all time and the stuff I care about. Track and field. Gatlin, Rocky Danners, Hassan Stamps. That's my top 3. Basketball. Ron Slay, Marcus Hayslip, Tyler Smith. Don't care about stats. Those are my boys. And football, my top 3, Charlie Garner, Leonard Little, and my GOAT, Craig Faulkner.
Oh, Craig Faulkner from Richland, Kentucky, getting a shout-out, who now lives in Sevierville and is a pillar in that community. Never forget. Never forget.
Never forget, bro. He's my guy back in middle school, man.
White Lightning. So you knew when you were a young kid. White Lightning. The fastest guy on the team.
You always going to latch on to somebody you identify with.
That's right.
More, you know what I'm saying?
Well, hey, that's part of life. It's like in my household, Frank Sinatra, was a hero. Why? Because he's Italian-American, man. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that, brah. There ain't nothing wrong with that,
Hey, man, it is what it is. I got to get out of here, man. Back to the hosts we go.
Thank you, Boy Billy. He had his top. Matt, where did that come from? What show you think Boy Billy was listening to there that he gave us his top 3 and all across all those sports?
Not really sure where that was from, but a really good list though.
Great list, but he doesn't win the chocolate because I don't know what he was doing.
He's one of my favorite callers.
I love Boy Billy from Harriman. He is an absolute knucklehead. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air to our next call.
Boys, we should have waited till March to move back from California, for crying out loud. This is ridiculous weather. What have y'all done to Tennessee?
It's been brutal. Just brutal.
Dude. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I get up. I trying to go to the gym to play basketball with some buddies this morning before I work. Open up the garage, look down the driveway, and there's 2 cars in the ditch in front of my driveway. My neighbor's got a couple cars in their driveway because it's black ice with a little bit of snow on top of it on the street in front of our house. I will try to go down my driveway to see if I can help people. Slip, bust my ever-loving left ass cheek to the point where I'm not going to be okay for a couple days. This is stupid, y'all. And people in Nashville may not have power still for 2 weeks. What are we doing?
Yeah, it could always
Dude, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. That my brother-in-law broke his hip falling in that ice a couple years ago. It's and there's the thing about falling in ice is there's nothing there, and your body gets so out of alignment that when you hit, you can crack something, you can crash something. I mean, God, man, my heart goes out to you, Rusty. And yeah, dude, this stuff is so depressing. Like I get depressed in the winter anyway. I am a damn basket case right now, man.
I'm with you, man. I mean, hey, I shouldn't complain. I'm fine. I'm gonna have a little bruise. I'll be all right. There's people that's got it way worse. I'm just being a whiny baby right now.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so let's just throw this out here. The guy that, well, of course, Hoosier Ball Ryan says, and that most of us agree, is either the best coach in college football or tied with Kirby. He's got a saying that's production over potential. And we're in a year-to-year sport, man. And it's what you do this year that matters because you don't know what 27 is going to bring. You don't know if you're going to be the coach in 2027. You don't know if you're going to, bring in 10 great portal additions that change your roster every year. You don't know if you're going to lose 10 great ones. So you got to win this season and worry about that. That's all that's got to be in the mirror, and it's production over potential.
I see that argument. I see that argument, and I honor that argument. I just would like to see one of the kids play.
I get that, and you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Joey back and the best man start game one. Mm-hmm. And if it's one of the young guys, give them the job. Mm-hmm. But they better be the best guy. Mm-hmm. I don't want to just give it to them because let's go with the young guys. Let's play the guy that's the best whenever we come out of fall camp. That would be my only thing. I'm fine with that. And then the other thing about the schedule. The 2 best defenses in the SEC are Georgia and Oklahoma. We don't play them in 2026. We miss them. We play 4 road games in 2026. And in 2027, we play 5. And the 4 road games we play in 26, Arkansas, South Carolina, and really a home game at Vandy. And then, of course, we have the one tough one's A&M. And again, our home games, we do play Texas and LSU at home, but the other ones are winnable. I mean, it's not like the realm of possibilities that this 26 schedule is going to be like night and day harder than 27. If anything, 27 schedule is going to be way harder. Because we got 5 road games, and they're all tougher than 3 of our road games this year.
Even more reason to play a quarterback now and get him ready for 2027.
That's if you're throwing in the towel.
No, I don't think you're throwing the towel. You're telling me the schedule's easier.
Yeah, so let's take that easy schedule and play the best quarterback available in 26 and try to get to 9 or 10 wins. When now 9-3 with a 9-game SEC probably gets you real close to the playoffs. If the 26 schedule is the easier, it's not definitely easier, but it's definitely not.
It's a really good conversation. You can sit on the back porch and argue for hours. It is.
We can do it all day long, and you're right.
Everybody makes good points about it. Yeah, it's a good conversation.
It's fun debate, man. It is such fun debate.
Yeah.
But lastly, I don't know what the courts are going to do, but you've said it for a long time, and I totally agree. Whatever rules they come up with, the NCAA, it's really not their fault because they can make rules all day long and they mean nothing. They mean zero if they don't get with the other party, the talent, and make the rules together because that's what every other league on earth does. They have to make rules with the other party.
That's it.
And that's called collective bargaining. And if they don't do that, no rules matter because you can't enforce them. Because the courts are going to say you made up rules without talking to the other side, man. You can't do it.
Except
you can't enforce it.
Except,
and
Rusty,
some kids going in the portal in May. Some kids going in the portal in May, and they're going to get away with it.
Sure.
Yep.
Hey, and by the way, this goofy Danny White, for him to come out publicly and say that we're still on probation in an era where there are no rules is about the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my life. It's idiotic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who said it, but they nailed it earlier when they said, hey, we're off probation now, Danny, because Jeremy Pruitt's coaching. So that's a great point.
Great point, Matt. Yeah, thanks, Rusty. And that really is the truth. Danny needs to stop with that. Matt said that right off the jump today, which didn't even occur to me to tie the two together. But like 45 minutes into today's show, I said, Jeremy Pruitt, John Bryce reporting over at Football Scoop, that he's about to join Maryland's staff with Mike Loxley. And the first thing out of Matt's mouth was, Matt?
That our probation, whatever double secret probation, should end the moment he gets hired.
Thank you. I mean, for Danny White to say that out loud and be excuse-making, and that's all that is excuse-making, it's embarrassing almost. You know, my boy Allen called him. We ship floors Allen. He said that's Dabo White stuff right there, man. That's what Dabo White did. Now I'm doing it. What Dabo Swinney did. Or would he be Dabo White Sweeney? Because he's Danny. Hang on a second here. I guess you could do Danny Sweeney. Whatever I'm trying to get at. Both those guys embarrass themselves. Both those guys sound like sour grapes. Both those guys sound like people that want to go back to phones that don't have text on them. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make a lick of sense. And in an era where you're charging what you're charging, the great Mark Griffin wants to do a little segment, Matt, on the lanyard section at UT. He's got a special on Tuesday. He's got a special review because he got to sit in the lanyard section last time out.
That could be fun.
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Matt, what is Prevagen? Do you have any idea? Jonesy says Tony forgot to take his Prevagen. What is Prevagen? Let me look this up. Prevagen.
Probably some vitamin or supplement. I don't know what. Who knows what? I don't know what it's for.
Because he's cracking on my performance today.
Could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
with
his ass gonna get blocked if he's cracking on me today. Let's see. Prevagen. Prevag. Prevagen. All right. Prevagen. I'll be the judge of that. Prevagen is a brain health supplement containing something and vitamin D. It's marketed to improve your memory and cognitive function. What, dude? I'm not having a good cognitive function in here. What are you talking about? I'm recalling stuff. I'm impressed with my mental acuity today. You clown. Hey, Jonesy, you'd last about 2 minutes behind this microphone there, Shepard. Okay? I mean, looking at some of your posts there, brah, I mean, you need the Riffmobile, my brother. Let's go back to our phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tone. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for calling.
Well, listen, have you ever seen On Her Majesty's Secret Service? This is Giblet, by the way.
I have not.
1969. Well, it's the only film where Bond, in this case, the only film that George Lazenby made as Bond, where he plays Sir Edwin Hillary, and he sort of investigates Blofeld's new hideaway in Switzerland at Piesgoria. And guess what they do? They have a curling match.
Say, let's freaking go,
You've
dude.
got to see it.
Curling, I want to see
Yes.
it. What's it called again? I'm going to send it to see. What's the thing called again?
It's called On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay.
And it's 1969, directed by Peter Hunt.
I'm texting him
And it's
right now.
Yeah, George Lazenby's only effort as Bond, and he's not bad.
Where do you rank that in the Bond canon?
Believe it or not, I'm a huge fan of Connery, and I've always ranked Goldfinger number one, but I prefer Thunderball because of my dad taking me to it when I was
Oh,
a
nothing
young
like
kid.
that. Nothing like that, dude.
Right. It was in CinemaScope, widescreen underwater stuff.
Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It was, and of course, I rank. I would go frankly, if I was objective.
Yeah.
I would go Goldfinger, Dr. No, and then I would go with Thunderball, and then maybe You Only Live Twice, and then On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
So you're
Almost the order.
You threw that in the top 5. That's impressive.
Oh, it is great. I mean, you'll be stunned. It's actually Bond gets married in the thing.
God, what is
and I won't
Bond
tell you what
doing?
happens.
You can't
I
marry.
won't tell you what happens at the end, but you may have a guess. It's not, it's a Bond film, but
It's a Bond.
You can't. Yeah.
One
it's
thing
pretty
about
good.
it, it's got things blowing up in it, and it's got beautiful women. So.
Oh my God, many. In fact, they spirit this biological hazard into the environs at Blofeld's behest to spread a mutation, and all these sorts of bacteria. Sort of forward thinking.
It's unbelievable, Andy.
Listen, did you like your Philly cigar tin?
That's so sweet. I was looking at it the other day. Right in our, I've got it up on the spot in our studio annex, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, Tony. I've come by some more goodies that I'll give.
Thank you, my brother.
Bino, did he like his Archie Bell and the Jazz album?
Are you kidding? He called me afterwards, and told me there was some songwriting and producing on that thing that he did not realize. There were some musicians that appeared and were involved in that he had no idea all these years as being a connoisseur of R&B.
Sure. Oh, it's a great album.
You're the man.
I just came across a cache of R&B albums, but it's been a pleasure, listening to them.
I love finding things. I just love that kind of stuff. It's so fun.
Yeah, that's my drill too.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I enjoy it, Tom. And real quick, I'll give you a good Pruitt story.
Yep.
Okay, you probably know that at some point I may have mentioned that my business partner and I contracted with UT to shoot slow motion picture on the sideline, for commercials and for promotional stuff. And so we'd oftentimes get, run over, obviously being there, but a lot of time I spent changing film in the Larcella media room. And I had a kid that I hired, that we hired, who was working at UT. His dad was an executive at Home and Garden. And I said, we're getting a new coach. I said, why don't you help coach get situated, take some of this media stuff over to him. And, where the television studio is. And
yes.
It was like his office was several floors above that. So the kid goes up there and he fetches Pruitt, and they get on the elevator. And Pruitt is chewing tobacco like it's going out of style. And it's coming out of the side of the lip and everything. And the kid's effusive in his praise about a defensive possibility. He's like, oh, I can't wait to have you here, Coach. I said, our defense has been pretty bad the last few years. I'm just so appreciative you're here. You know what Pruitt did?
What's that?
Well, he does a slow burn look up at the the clicker.
Mm-hmm.
What floor is he on?
Mm-hmm.
It's only 3 floors in the place.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks at the kid, deadpan look, and then he puts the cup under his chin and spits a drab.
God!
Never said a word to the kid.
Might be the greatest thing
He ignored
ever.
that kid.
He
ignored that kid the rest of the time the kid was there, and he had several more years to go with Pruitt's, clown show.
Might be the greatest thing ever. I could just see Pruitt giving him that.
Oh, and then he did
that look and looking up. And, he's looking like, how much longer, kid, do I have to be in this damn elevator with you fanboying at me
Listen to
here?
this kid.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
So, Tone, I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Hey, thank you, brother. Good talking to you. That's fun stuff. Matt, couldn't you see Pruitt no-selling a kid like that?
Oh, absolutely.
And rolling those eyes like he did, that eye roll thing, that kid, I couldn't be more bored with you right now. Thank God we're not.
There's not many things that would surprise me with Pruitt.
No, and the chaw coming out of the side of his mouth absolutely is on point. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, boys. Good afternoon. Steven from up here in Altoona.
Hey, Altoona. Hey, compare what we have in Altoona to what you have. We haven't had a warm day here in 2.5 weeks. What's the weather been like in beautiful Altoona, Pennsylvania?
So listen, I listen every day. I know the weather. I got my family down there in Tennessee. You know, they call me when it's done. I mean, I got 12 inches in my front yard still. This morning was -7 when I went to work. So I know it's cold there,
dude.
But my blood is freezing. Like, I'm dying up here. It's crazy.
And that Altoona thing, let me tell you something about Altoona, because it's the terrain we share. That Altoona community is kind of like we are. It's valley-ish, but they get pounded with snow, right? In the winter, you get pounded there.
You know, it hadn't been bad, but the past week or two, like the same weather, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I'm staring at, 6 feet high snow right here in the parking lot. I mean, it's been pretty bad, still icy. It hadn't been above 25. Today's nice. It's 23. So.
Yep.
But, hey, guys, I was calling. I'll try to make this short and sweet.
Yep.
You guys, you're killing me. You're on your high horse about Joey, know, and no disrespect, of course.
Sure.
Just me being a caller, but.
Sure.
Like, Joey's coming back. And for some reason, we still want to, let the young guys get their reps. That's what practice is for. So, Joey now, if he does come back, we go to a college football playoff contender, right? And in these preseason rankings, they had Vanderbilt's quarterback, their new 5-star, ahead of McIntyre. So, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Joey was the leading passer in the SEC. I get we talk about the schedule, but the guy was here for 2 months before he took over. I mean, Heupel's going to turn him into an NFL quarterback.
No, he's not going to be an NFL quarterback. But he could turn.
He is on a team. He just like all the other guys were.
I'll sell that.
Joe and Hendon.
No.
I mean, put money on it. I guarantee you.
I'll sell that.
You guys are killing me because here we got our guy coming back.
Yep.
Who's going to lead, and we have everything we need now for our offense. Now we have everything we need for our team to go make a run this year. But for some reason, we want to play McIntyre or Faison, who hasn't done anything at all. And even with practice, McIntyre hadn't even gotten any better at all since then.
Well, you don't know. Wait a second. You don't know if he hasn't gotten better. Now, come on. That's not a fair thing to say now. We don't know.
Why wouldn't he play in front of Merklinger this year? If he had gotten better, and we talk about how skinny, and I do understand that we're right about that.
Yeah, he's thin.
But he's not there, and that's why we went and got Staub, who is nobody.
Staub, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So it's just been killing me for 2 days because I listen every single day, and I usually don't have time to call in.
No, listen, and I honor. And the thing about you is, I honor your point of view because you're right. You're right to say that to me. And then I'm right to say, boy, but I would sure like to see one of the kids play this year.
And I get it, but we go from from chalking it up to like trying to get better with a 6 or 7 win. And then my point is too, like, say we don't do good with these young guys, half of the team is going to leave anyway, and they're going to go pay them more money somewhere else. So why? I mean, it's a new age in football. This is a here and now thing. Like, we have to do this now. There's not next year. You said 1 year league.
It could be this, man. It could be that we never see neither McIntyre nor Brandon on a field here.
I hate to say it, but you're right.
I mean, they could decide in the offseason, hey, I don't like either one of these guys. They could decide. I don't know what they're going to decide. We'll hear what they're thinking here before too long. But in this era, you always have to keep your eye open toward playing a veteran, toward doing something like this, toward whatever it is. Because I think these quarterbacks in this sport, like I was telling Matt, are going to get older and older and older. Because here's the truth about, you think this guy's an NFL quarterback. He's not. But he definitely would be a spring league quarterback. And in that league, he'd make a couple $100,000. I would much rather, if I'm going to go out and get hit, make $2 million or $3 million like a guy of his caliber is going to make in this deal, than make a couple $100,000. So there's no doubt.
And I agree. And I don't think he's a starting at quarterback. But, yeah, he'll get signed as an undrafted free agent, and he'll be a backup. Who was the guy? The one guy was a backup for like 5 years after the Lane Kiffin quarterback.
Oh, he had a huge arm. Now you're talking about, and he was a real big guy. You're Tyler Bray. Now he was not serious, but he had NFL. He had what you call NFL skills. He had an NFL body. He could move around a little bit. I mean, you're dealing with a different. It was
the other guy. It was somebody else too. And I'm not saying Joey's the man, but like your boy Colombo, who has horrible takes.
Yeah.
But like he's better. Now we have a top 5 returning quarterback in the SEC and not the worst. So I don't understand. Like, this is a here and now. We have to do this now. Because if not, half the team is going to be gone.
Hey, I listen. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. See you guys.
Great. Hey, great talking to you. I love the passion, man, in beautiful Altoona. And that is about as dark and depressing a place as it sounds like. Altoona, trust me. Look up on the map where that is and tell me if that cat isn't a tough dude living there. The people that live up there, you better be a tough hombre to live in that. Because State College, Pennsylvania is like that Bellefonte area. That's the middle of nowhere. And Altoona is about 45 to 50 minutes away from nowhere. So... was he talking about Matt Sims, Matt Dixon? Is that who he was talking about?
I thought he was talking about Tyler Bray, but I mean, you could even apply it to Sims. He hung on for a year or two in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, and then, I mean, Bray was like a decade-long backup.
Yeah. Crompton, he could have been talking about. I think Crompton played in the NFL for like a season or two, and then he ended up in the CFL.
Yeah, Crompton got drafted.
Sure did.
I think it was San Diego, maybe.
Matt, are you buying, selling, or trading his NFL aspirations for Joey Agalar after next season?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. So I do think he'll get a chance, like, a camp on him, or, I mean, maybe a team takes a late flyer on him if he has an incredible year. But no, I don't really think he's got an NFL future.
No.
But that doesn't mean he can't be good in college. I mean, Hendon Hooker is probably the perfect example of that. So,
No, I love it.
I just think it's not a bad thing that Aguilar's coming back.
No, it can't be a bad thing.
There's some negatives if you want to point to the future and projecting with the young freshmen, but we've also spent all season talking about how all these teams are veteran and so many, Vanderbilt has all these veterans. Indiana has 24 and 25-year-olds. And then, we have a chance to have a 24 or 25-year-old returning quarterback. And like that can't be a bad thing.
Listen, the thing that I don't want to do, okay, is when he wins this case, I'm not going to campaign. I love the guy. I'm not campaigning against him. But just right now, I express my opinion. But I'm not going to belabor the point that once he gets here, he's going to be the starter. I'm behind him 1,000%. I'm telling you right now, he was in total pain at the end of the year last year when he would let a ball go, and he never told anybody that, and he was a great teammate, and the McIntyre kid loves him, and the Brandon kid will grow to love him because he's a good kid. There's no me in Joey Agalar at all. He's a great story. And it's rather rich that UCLA sold him down the river for a shinier object who's a runaround quarterback. That's what he is. Now, I'll tell you this. I think Nico's going to have a nice year this year and may be able to scratch onto the NFL's radar at season's end under this Chesney guy who comes from James Madison, who's a really nice coach. And it's a pretty good system. But, look, several of you think like I'm campaigning against Joey Agalar. I'm not. I'm just somebody that gives you my opinion. And I think both of these opinions are valid. Both are valid. And I don't think you lose either way, personally. If you play one of the young quarterbacks this year and, you either find out you have one or you don't, that gives you a chance to go get somebody before 2027. That's something, right? If you play one of them and they're a revelation, well, damn. We got a 3-year starter in front of us here. If you play Joey Agalar and he's really, really good, you made a right decision. If you play Joey Agalar and you went 8-4 and you don't know what you have in 2027, I don't know if you made a good decision. And I guess that's why the sport's really interesting right now. Because you can take the onion, you can peel the thing back, and while you're pulling different layers back, you can argue about what you're seeing. But really, we're not going to know till we get there. Just like we think we know what's on all these rosters in this league, that league, any league, and there's going to be surprise teams this year. They're going to come out of these leagues. So those of you that hold out hope that Tennessee could be a surprise team this year, hey, man, hold out hope. Hold out hope. I don't see anything wrong with that. I am not here to tell anybody how to think. I just tell you how I think, and then I might argue with you a little bit or debate with you a little bit, but I appreciate the conversation, and it's why it remains a very interesting sport. Even in this era, college football remains a highly compelling sport. Because really, we just don't know, Matt. We're not going to know till we get there.
No, that's what makes it fun and intriguing.
Yep. I mean, we think we know. We think we know. We don't know. Hell, Arkansas.
You wake up one year and Indiana goes 16-0, wins the national championship. Ole Miss makes the Final Four with a Division II transfer that was their backup to begin the year.
That's exactly what happened. Ole Miss went to the Final Four, and damn Indiana won the damn national championship going unbeaten. Now, you want me to make, declarations about next season? I have no damn idea what's going to happen. I know one thing. We'll be with you every step of the way. We'll be with you all spring and all summer long. We'll be with you after the game the other Saturday night into the wee small hours Sunday. But till we meet again, I love you. I appreciate you. Matt Diskin, you're incredible. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Any final thoughts here, Matt, on the way out?
Let's beat Kentucky on Saturday, Rick. Let's not play around with them anymore. Let's go up there and take care of business.
That will be so fun to celebrate over those clowns. Getting swept by them, by a mid-Kentucky team, well, I don't even want to think about that. Matt Dixon, thank you. Brian Hartman, thank you. All of our great guests today we had on, thank you. All the wonderful callers we had on today, thank you. Larry Vaught's picking Kentucky, but he said there's a chance for the Vols. And until we meet again, I want to thank all of our terrific sponsors that make it possible for us to do what we do. All of our T-Club members that give us a little extra kiss each month, thank you for that. We will not let you down. And remember, with baseball season right around the corner, we've got some really special stuff coming your way. We're going to drop something from Heflin, the introductory podcast you'll see here in a little bit. It's going to go live, and I'll tweet that out as well. But this is fun, man. And we love you, and we appreciate you. And go, Lady Vols, go. And tomorrow, it'll be yours truly, and Bean Schmo.
You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word.